All right, what is going on, guys? How are you all doing today? Looks like chat is up and running on the screen, so we are good. We have a lot of people hanging out already. Man, I wonder why. I wonder, it's weird. There's nothing big going on right now in bowling. It's crazy, just a random summer Wednesday. Nothing. No big news, no nothing. It's wild. Thank you guys all for hanging in today. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys have had a good week so far. Hopefully you guys are having a good Wednesday here. We are live. We are kicking. We've got a couple hour live stream talking all things bowling. And I have a very big feeling that we're going to have one topic that's going to be a little bigger than the others. That we've been kind of alluding to a couple days. I have to just quickly get my Twitch setup running. We got that going. We're going to get our TikTok going. Roll what's going on over on Facebook. We got a guy on Facebook. We got a lot of people hopping in. I am going to be checking out every single comment that we've had so far. We've had about 40. Oh, I love it. All right, we're going to hop on TikTok quick. We're going to get that kicked off, and then we're going to get into all of the comments that we have today. Let's see. Urethane ban incoming as the title because it's kind of set in stone right now. Kind of set in stone, but there we go. All right, we are kicked off everywhere. So let's get into some comments. What is going on? Hopefully you guys are having a really good day again. But let's see who's all hanging out already. We did have our earliest people ever hopping into the live stream. We had that one left-handed bowler and Furious George and Brooks all hopping in nearly at 5:40. So you guys win first comment of the day award. As the resident lefty, the dark ages are coming. Black Plague ain't got nothing on us. The memes that are coming from this, by the way, and all of that is absolutely golden. It is super fun. You guys are all very creative. Furious, I hope USBC bans bowling. And Brooks, what is going on? Dennis, this is nuts because a certain PBA player crying and whining about urethane. What leaves it alone? Worry more about the sport rather than this crap. Urethane has been around for decades. So I do want to make a quick preface for this live stream. I'm going to have a few rules. Number one is we are going to come into this live stream and we are not going to attack anyone too much. That's going to be the big thing. Right now, every bowler in the world, in the nation, and more in the nation, is going onto socials and giving their opinion, which is great. That's what it's there for. That is what it's good for. But we don't want to get too negative Nancy on a lot of this stuff, so we're going to keep it positive. We're going to keep it informative. We're going to keep this, a lot of facts are going to be stated. I have a whole ton of urethane notes and information for you guys, a few behind the scenes things, what you should know about this poll and why USBC is doing it, what went into their decision making. So we're going to get into a lot of that. So let's try to keep everything not too the world is ending, bowling is dead, bah humbug, but we'll try to keep it somewhere in a middle ground. But let's check out a couple more of the comments and then we will catch up and talk about the big issues of the day. We have Dennis trying to start a Zach chant. Hey, I'm in. Franchise, what's going on? You have a bubblegum vibe, an anger solid, and a pulse. Pulse is definitely medium smooth. I've seen that go down the lane a couple times now. Bubblegum vibe is weak sharp. Anger solid is, I think it's more medium sharp because the cover's a little bit stronger on it. Little bit stronger. Dennis's first ball was a Manhattan rubber ball. Ooh, I have some rubber bowling ball stories that I can give. Fun fact, you pretty much can't get a rubber ball drilled anymore because like pro shops won't do it. Like our pro shop will not drill a rubber ball because the pro shop stinks like burnt rubber and burnt tires for weeks. And that smell does not get out of anything at all. It's an awful, awful smell. Absolutely disgusting smell. But let's keep catching up. Oh man, we have so many. 1 HP Frost, what's going on over on Twitch? Remember, we are live on a ton of different platforms right now. We're live on Facebook, we're live on Twitch, on TikTok, on YouTube. So, shocking. Everyone's talking about urethane. One left-handed bowler needs an OG tank rampage. That's going to be rough. That's going to be hard to find. Hey, Don is here. Love to see you again. Don, Paul, I bought a purple hammer a month or so ago. This is my fault. So, let's talk about the details of what's going on right now. All right. We have all the information that we need right now in this very moment. we have a urethane potential ban. USBC made a Facebook post saying, hey guys, we have all these reasons why we've been looking into urethane for the last couple of months. And that is 100% true. They have been looking into urethane for a hot minute, ever since the hardness issues of the Purple Hammer back in like 2022-ish is when they first started looking into urethane. Because for anyone who wasn't aware, what was happening is old Purple Hammers, especially ones that were poured in Kentucky, so hammer bowling balls used to be made in the USA, made in Kentucky. I forget the name of the town. Someone can remind me in the comments. It's where the old Ebonite plant used to be. It was Ebonite, Track, Hammer, and Columbia 300. All poured in the US. The old Purple Hammers, back when Jacob Buttroff was winning every title under the sun, and the only thing you saw on TV were hammer staffers with Purple Hammers. Well, that bowling ball started Hopkinsville. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. That bowling ball started very, very soft out of the box. And something that we learned, because bowling at the end of the day is a very, very new sport. Which is weird because it's been around forever, but because of bowling ball technology, it's fairly new. So we were learning that urethane balls mixed with resin, because current urethane balls are not what they were in the 1980s. So let's start with that fact: is a Purple Hammer today is not the same as your AMF angle from the 1980s. They are, it's like, it would be like comparing a baseball from 1910 to a baseball from today would be a good example. Like they're not close. But what happened is the Purple Hammer would get softer over time. The more you used it, the softer it got. And there are full-fledged factual studies showcasing this. It wasn't just the purple, it's the pitch black as well. It's every true urethane bowling ball is getting softer. So USBC came in and said, hey, Hopkinsville Purple Hammers before this time frame are deemed illegal. They're way too soft. Which was a really good play. Really good play. Those old ones are like, they are stupid soft. You can like scratch them with your fingernail. They're so soft. Well, by that point, they started looking more and more into it because urethane wasn't going away. The PBA then made a rule saying, all right, we're banning all urethanes except for these new ones, which were the IQ78 and the Black Hammer. Said these ones are harder. So even when they get softer, they'll still be in the legal requirements. Well, urethane was still being thrown everywhere. USBC was still doing studies on it. And now USBC came out with a poll that I really want all of you guys to answer, get your voices heard, where they say, over the past several months, USBC has been conducting research, and they are looking into these are the things they're focusing on. Lane pattern integrity is one of the issues, one of their concerns. Urethane balls can alter lane patterns more quickly, disrupting the intended lane pattern design, creating imbalances between different styles of players. That one's not the big one. What they really mean by that is you can overpower any lane condition with a Purple Hammer. For context, shout out Zach in Minnesota, not me, Zach, other Zach, who was able to win a tournament this weekend on 48-foot Badger with his old Purple Hammer. So that's one reason they're looking into it. Competitive fairness: when urethane and reactive equipment are both used in the same environment, it causes competitive imbalances. The reason that is the simple point that is if everyone else is throwing urethane, you need to throw urethane. That is a amateur bowling / professional bowling rule of thumb. If everyone around you throws urethane, you can't throw reactive. You will not score. So that's what they're looking into there. Player development concerns: increasing reliance on urethane may reduce player versatility and hinder long-term skill development, particularly among younger and developing athletes. For anybody that was there, that was at Junior Gold in Green Bay, I've had many people come out and tell me, yeah, we threw urethane for every single game in qualifying, or all of the games but 2 games in qualifying. I have a couple pictures of just racks of like 8 Purple Hammers. So that's where that one comes from. Finally, governance and integrity challenges. This is, in my opinion, the biggest one. Urethane balls can measure softer over time, making it difficult to distinguish between natural aging and tampering. These issues have contributed to protests and confusion at events, creating enforcement challenges and questions around competitive integrity. One of the big ones there is, long story short, some Weber guys were being idiots, and they were playing with Purple Hammers with acetone. And because they did this and they threw it at an actual competitive event, it raised a lot of concerns of, are they throwing these in college events? Which was a really, like, if that would happen and they were winning, that's Yeah, they would have gotten banned from college, 100%. That is where that one comes from, is you can soak a purple hammer and make it stupid soft, and it makes that ball really, really good. And pitch blacks too, I should add that, but it's mainly the purple that's the issue. So there is a poll on all of their social medias. Please go answer it. I highly, highly recommend get your voice heard, because they will use this information. Now, there have been reports that this information won't matter much, is that they're already leaning towards a ban, which is why ball companies have not been making urethane. We made a video on it on TikTok a little while ago, and we've talked about it on YouTube, but they have not been making urethanes. The last urethane to come out was March of 24. And then before that, there really weren't many either. We haven't had many urethanes, and that's probably the reason, is a lot of these companies are seeing, hey, we were told by USBC they might ban it, so why make more, is really what it is. So that is the situation going on right now. And the bowling world is in flames right now. If you go to social media, you're on bowling TikTok, you're on bowling Facebook, you can't scroll for more than 2 seconds without seeing a urethane ban post from anybody. It could be something funny, like Bowler's Mart posting in stock with the purple hammer. It could be something mean, like all bowlers suck and bowling is dead, and if they ban urethane, bowling is gone, I'm going to golf. Or it can be everything in between. So that is a situation right now. We have a lot of comments that are coming in, because we have 180 people hanging out right now. This is our biggest live stream ever. Thank you, everybody who's hopping in. But I really do want to hear your guys' opinions about the situation going on right now, because everybody here is coming from very different walks of bowling. Some of you are just league bowlers. Some of you don't even bowl league. Some of you are high-level amateurs. There might be a pro or two sneaking into chat. If you are, hello, great to see you. If you have your card, let me know. Those are all very different areas of bowling. We have international bowlers coming in. So I would love to hear your guys' opinions. I will not be able to hit every comment right now because there's so many of you. I will do my best, but I won't be able to hit all of them. I will be sneaking in a couple answers to other questions that you guys have, because on this channel, what we do is we talk, this is a full bowling Q&A, trying to help you guys either build better arsenals, answer your bowling questions, etc., etc., etc. But let's check out what's going on. Apex does say their Instagram does have a link for that poll if you don't have Facebook. Otherwise, they do have it on their bowl.com website. If you go, I think, to the home page, you can find it there. It's on all of their socials. All their social medias have it. But otherwise, Matty Nitro, would the new Forged Steel go well with the Hysteria, or too similar? I think they're different enough. They're going to be a little close. You might need to do some surface adjustment to make them different enough. But yeah, that was the other news that we aren't able to cover really today, is Motive announced the Steel Forge. It's a forge core with the Evoke Hysteria cover. Kind of cool. Looks super angular. This kind of trumped that news just a little bit. Just a wee little bit. Oh, it's wild. All right, let's keep going for a little bit. That one left-handed bowler, when we're getting ZVL reviews live streams, if I could chug a lot of caffeine, we might. Dennis, they ought to start using the Rotogrip tire ball. Oh, the old Rotogrip tire. The hardest ball to drill, especially if you want the ball to actually roll like a tire. Tori, I see a bunch of not urethane, but play like urethane in our future. Yes, that is I am a firm believer. I don't have proof of this, but I am a firm tinfoil hat believer that the lab series and the level was made specifically assuming this was going to happen. I don't think the new blue was made expecting this to happen, but I believe the level was. The level was probably made just for this reason. Hey, Matty Nitro, thank you for all the gifts on TikTok, by the way. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. B. Nolt, US poll done. Awesome. Adam, I vote to ban it. I have no issues with urethane. I have a purple in my bag. However, this idea of getting rid of it will never go away. Get rid of it for a bit, then revisit. It's honestly that this is, even if it doesn't this time, this is always going to be an ongoing thing, because the purple is, I mean, in my opinion, as an amateur bowler, if you're not on staff, I think you need a purple hammer in your bag no matter what. I think, in my opinion, in my experience over the last 7, 8, 9 years in competitive bowling, it's a necessity even for amateur stuff. Even for the amateur stuff. Ralphie, you can't find the poll. It's on, USBC. USBC's Facebook or Instagram. going to be best. Chris Dunigan, only thing I use my 78U for is 10 pins. It definitely doesn't compare to reactive. Hey, the 78U otherwise belongs in a dumpster, so that's fair. We are, for anyone just joining us, we are very much anti IQ78 fans on this channel. Like, I am not a fan of that ball. It is not a good urethane. Buy a pitch black. David Pena, if you're a bowler and can't use urethane, you're behind adopting the technology. And it is fair. It is new technology. And to preface, old urethane is not similar to new urethane. They are two very different things. New urethane is actually resin in the cover stock as well as urethane. So it's not urethane. Aaron, what's going on? I'm just coming in now. Is it true or false that your thing will be banned? That urethane will be banned, and the PBA has already done that. The PBA has not spoken. The PBA has not said a word about this. If USBC bans it, PBA can decide whatever they want. It's very weird. PBA doesn't have to abide by USBC rules, and USBC doesn't have to abide by PBA rules. They're two different entities, which I personally don't like. I don't think that's a good idea. But like right now in USBC competition, you cannot throw with your opposite hand in the same game that you bowl with your dominant hand. So like if you bowl righty for 9 frames, you can't bowl lefty for a frame. It technically counts as a 0. PBA, you can do whatever you want. They don't care. They have like very few rules, which is odd. Bird, would the new balls be banned too? No, the NU balls are only reactive. They do not have any urethane in their cover stock. So I'm guessing what USBC would do is they would check, does this ball have any urethane in their cover stock? And if it doesn't, they say, all right, you're good to go. Don, should I hold off getting a black hammer? Yes, you should, Don. Yes, you should. Now, I do want to preface, if this ends up happening, if urethane does get banned from USBC competition, you should not expect it to be like instant. Because if you guys remember when weight holes were banned by USBC, which was overall a very good move. Weight holes were dumb in my opinion. They were an odd choice. It was okay to get rid of them. Makes my job as a pro shop operator a little easier. But if they do go with it, I would expect at least 1 year where they're still legal. So if we get to like a September, October, and USBC says, we read the poll results, here are the poll results, we're going to listen to the masses, urethane's gone. They won't do it instantly. They will wait at least a year before they actually implement it. Now. I should also preface, there are rumors, and I have had a couple different reports of something very unique in all of this, is that USBC is actually planning on just banning it for their larger competitions. What that would mean is that the list that I saw was that they want to ban it for Junior Gold, for USBC Open Championships, for the USBC Masters, for the US Open, and then also the senior stuff, I believe they run. And there was one more event, I don't remember what it was, that they want to kick it out for. But otherwise, they would have it legal everywhere else, so it wouldn't affect most bowlers. It would be like when like the Phase 4 and the Altered Reality and all those storm balls were deemed too soft. It would be just like that, where you can still throw them in league, but you just can't throw them at the national level. So that wouldn't affect almost anybody except for pros. Also, drink of the day, Kickstart, pineapple, orange, mango. Yeah, I always get the name mixed up. Pineapple, orange, mango. Very sad that it's really their only good flavor for Kickstart. I wish they had more. I really do. If they ban urethane, I'll just throw plastic at 500 grit. You will see more of that. You will see the torpedo direct hits make a rally, which hurts me in my soul. Christian, in my opinion, if they ban urethane, they should also ban plastic. 2 separate reasons. 1, they alter the lane more, and 2, they make the spare game way easier. So I don't think, they won't get rid of plastic. That'll never happen. Plastic isn't actually beneficial in a lot of cases. It's way too niche, where urethane is beneficial most of the time. Taganze, as a lefty, that will definitely make the challenge patterns more difficult. That is the biggest issue, in my opinion, is left-handers. For lefties, it's going to be rough. It's going to make it a lot tougher, because as a lefty, if you're a tournament bowler, you can roll up to a lot of tournaments with a bag of urethanes. Luke Rosdahl has some really good quotes on that, where he said, I can just pull up with a couple urethanes and be fine. I don't know if he did throw a purple after he left Storm, but that's a common thing in amateur. A ton of lefties, it is just grab me my purple hammer, especially if you're like a 2-hander or a high enough rev rate. You're fine with it. Big Dragon, should I sell my pitch black? No, you will be able to use urethane for a long time. This is not something, if it does get banned, again, it's an if. It's not when, it's an if. If it does happen, you're going to have a long time to still be throwing, still be thane banging, still be able to thane bang for a while. We're here, Zach, because you rock. Hey, thank you, Dennis. Appreciate that. Great to see you, man. Chuck, never bought a urethane. For PBA, this is best. Put those skills to the test. Now, yeah, and if you guys did not see, this was the other one thing I wanted to talk about before getting deep into comments, is Anthony Simonson. A lot of the pros have been taking to social media and talking about their opinions on this. Tom Doherty already said this is stupid. I had Jerry Mars, who's a PBA regional guy, say this is stupid. There was another pro who came out and said it was stupid, but then Anthony Simonson actually had a really good quote. I'm going to read it word for word because he did a great job with it. What benefits does a urethane ball bring to the sport of bowling? I know a negative. 99% of people under the age of 25 have zero touch. Ball hooks too much, grab a urethane ball. Ball doesn't hook enough, grab a urethane ball. Maybe if urethane gets banned, the youth of today will learn how to bowl again. So it was very harsh, as Simo is. But he's saying that it's really hurting the youth bowlers more than anything that he's noticed. And that is a top 5 bowler in the world saying this, who goes to all of these youth events. So that's a very interesting thing to see. He also picked fights, not picked fights, but there was, Brian Pinnell. I think it was Brian Pinnell. I believe he's Mo's son, if I remember right. Where was his? He was in the comments, and Simo lit him up a little bit. There it is. Yeah, it was Brian Pinnell. Why is the governing bodies responsible to make kids learn a certain way? Simo came back. They should help teach the sport. What benefits do you see from urethane? Brian Pinnell gave some stuff. And Simo said patterns are being made against urethane and it's just not working. So yeah, he went off on a couple people in the comments. He threatened to bowl action matches against people who called him out for being a two-hander. It was very entertaining. Very funny, but yeah, that was his comment on it. So the pros are all coming out discussing it as well, even though PBA hasn't said anything. Yes, America's Fat Boy is this username. Love the username, man. Walter Ray also said he doesn't think they should be banned. Yes, Walter Ray also came out and said, I don't think they need to be banned right now. So it's so polarizing. There is literally a line being drawn among bowlers right now, and you're on one side or the other. It is nuts. Within 24 hours, this all happened. I made the video yesterday and people were already kind of picking sides in the comments. And then once USBC posted at like 7 or 8 o'clock, it was like, yep, there's the line in the sand. Pick your side. It's crazy. D Fish, what is the advantage of having a softer bowling ball? This is a fantastic question. So in the last 30 to 40 to 50 years, bowling balls have had a hardness level they need to get to. That when you make a ball, it has to be a certain, what we call durometer. I believe it just stands for, I don't know what the D stands for. Is it just durometer? But the hardness level has to be 70. I don't remember what, I think it was 71 for a while. Now it's a little higher. I think it's at 73 potentially. The reason, the softer a ball is, the earlier it's going to want to hook, but also the more continuous the bowling ball can be. A harder bowling ball, like your plastic balls, aren't going to be continuous. So if you throw plastic, you're not going to see them be round when they hook. You're going to see them kind of like hook immediately and then just kind of roll towards the pocket. You're going to leave a lot of like 5 pins and corner pins and things like that. However, when the ball is softer, it's more continuous. So these soft purple hammers, you could throw from a lot of different places. They're going to read the lane early, but still continue through the pocket. If a ball hooks early, generally it's going to kind of puke out and roll forward. The urethanes were not doing that. So a softer ball actually makes it easier to get your ball to finish through the pins, and it gets it to hook a little bit earlier. There's a lot of physics behind why exactly. But this is something that bowlers have been doing for years. I think it was Eugene McCune was one who was caught using, I know in the past, like there are stories of people trying to flush their bowling balls, get water on them to try to make them softer, but otherwise acetone has been used to try to make the bowling balls softer, because that overall, just the general consensus is it makes them better. So that is why there's advantages of having a soft ball versus a hard ball. 1 HP, if urethane is so good, they should only ban it for tournaments, but keep it for league play. And I honestly don't think they'll ban it for league play. I don't think league they're going to ban urethane. Now, I am still a firm believer that urethane isn't your best option in league. I think there are better options for most bowlers in the world on a league shot than urethane. Many better options, because a lot of people use urethane like it's a weak bowling ball, but it's actually the strongest ball in your bag. Eugene McCune did. My pro shop operator told me. Thank you, Apex. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Eugene who was caught doing that. He was like the biggest one to get caught doing that, and he got reprimanded pretty hard, if I remember right. That was before my time, though, so it's just stories. Good question here from Paul. What about MCP, microcell polymer? That was Motive's. That's Motive's only push towards urethane minus their purple tank. And the purple tank was hot garbage, unfortunately. Sorry, Motive, if there's any Motive fans in here. That ball was not good, unfortunately. It just shined up really quickly was the big problem. But microcell polymer is technically resin. It's a very early hooking resin cover stock. So there's no urethane, so that would technically be fine. Your Tank Blitz, your Desert Tank, your... What else was there? Oh, man, there's a lot of tanks. Tank Rampage Pearl, OG Tank Rampage... There was the cement block one, the carbide, there was the yellow jacket. Doesn't mean they're all good. A lot of the tanks were not great, but that is how that is. Ken Redmond, flushing in the toilet was to make them colder to durometer above the hardness rule. That's what it was. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate that. Thank you, Ken from Facebook. Really, thank you for getting that one in. Hyper Ram, if this goes through, what makes y'all think they won't ban two-handed? They won't ban two-handed. No, it's not a technique thing, because I think one of the big things is that you can't mimic a soft purple hammer. You can mimic two-handed. EJ has a higher rev rate than a lot of two-handers. And he has better ball roll too at times. I don't think you just can't mimic a soft urethane. The hard thing is a lot of the old ones too is something we need to be aware of, is there are still purple hammers that were poured in Hopkinsville, Kentucky that are legal. For example, I own one. I own a purple hammer behind me that is insanely soft from use. It's 6 years old. What year is it? 2025? I think it's 6 years old, 5 years old at this point. Super soft and hooks a ton. Those are still legal, and that's what a lot of people use. However, you can't buy them anymore. If you buy a purple hammer, it's one from Mexico, which is actually harder than the ones were in Hopkinsville. Very interesting. Big Dragon, should I sell my pitch black? Oh, we hit that one. Let's see. Craig, putting a poll online was a good idea. Don't want to do anything that's going to hurt the bowling industry. We've got enough adjustments coming. Yes, no, I'm like applauding USBC for not just saying, here's the rule. I applaud them for wanting bowlers' opinions. Good for them. That is exactly how this process should go. I really appreciate that, because bowlers come in so many different flavors. Like I said, people who just bowl open play, people who bowl league, people who bowl amateur tournaments, people who bowl professionally, people who bowl professionally around the world. There's a little bit of everything, which is good. Smitty, I think it's dumb to get rid of it as a whole. Thane is literally older than reactive. Yeah, the big thing is it's not actual urethane. I think it was a misstep to call current urethane. I think they should have named it something different, because it's not the same. Like I said, the AMF angle from the 80s is not even, that's close. That's a plastic ball basically compared to what we have with true urethane now, because urethane balls now are actually also resin. Jonathan Wagner, thank you so much for the follow on TikTok. I should give a quick first thank you to everybody who's hanging in right now. We have a ton of people watching on every platform. If you haven't, make sure to drop a subscription or a follow, so this isn't the last time we see each other. We have talks like this all the time. We're live weekly on Wednesdays talking everything and anything bowling. But I know a lot of you are here for the big topic of the day, so we are going to keep going in that direction, in that fun direction. Let's see. D-side, should I sand my plastic ball to 80 grit to replace my purple? No, you should not. Sanded plastic is not the greatest choice in the world. It's a thing you can do, but it's not great. Resin is a base formula of urethane. Okay, thank you, B. Vatican, question regarding hip pain in the sliding leg. I'm a two-hander. Some players plant and don't have this hip pain. I do not recommend planting, especially as a two-hander. You have a lot of power going into the lane. So I think it's probably how you're sliding into the shot, where all of your pressure is going to that hip. You want your pressure kind of going through your foot and your knee. Matthew, people saying they'll use 500 grit to burn lanes, but from my understanding, if they do that, you can just ball down to a hustle or thrill and be fine versus urethane is wildly inconsistent push oil. Actually, no. Actually, weak bowling balls are the worst option when others are using urethane. Because what urethane does, it pushes more oil down lane. Urethane in any low flaring ball. However, urethane hooks so early, it doesn't really care about that carry down as much, where like a hustle or a thrill, it needs friction. And what urethane does is it takes away friction down lane. It takes away your area to get the ball to hook. So you turn a 40-foot pattern to a 43-foot pattern. And that makes the low end balls a little bit worse. So no, that usually isn't a great play. Trust me, I've tried. Hey, Train Boys, #1 fan, what's going on? Probably, but anything with Radical on it usually doesn't sell. What's happening with the streams? New Blue and Level are about to become very popular. Yes, absolutely. No, nothing's happening with the streams, Train Boy. We're still live on Wednesdays every day. We are always live on Wednesdays. Dennis, eBay flash sales, all urethane ball free. I have a Brunswick attitude control. Ooh, the attitude control was, I think that was the first Brunswick urethane, true Brunswick urethane before they bought out Ebonite, I think. Big Dragon, what is the best ball that will get get down lane very far in a big snap? Honestly, the Hater Pearl is probably your best bet right now. Christian, I have the IQ 78 for my urethane. It's not horrible since I play much straight. Yeah, you need to play very straight. You need to play very straight with the IQ 78. You can't hook the lane with it. And then Lord Farquaad's Ghost. Your guys' usernames are top tier today. Well done. So IQ 78 is the worst urethane. I've owned a Black Pearl urethane, purple, new blue, and pitch black. Oh, 100% agree. Yeah, it just wasn't good. It's too hard, and then the core wants to hook a little too early for that cover stock. Yofo, trying to get my love back for bowling. I overdid it and got burned out with too much practice. 14 games a night, 7 nights a week. Yeah, that's a good way to get burnt out. Take some time off. Take some time off from practicing. It's for the best. Matthew, this is a really good question. Would the mix be banned? Because the mix is technically urethane. I think they call it polyurethane. It's a mix of plastic and urethane. I don't know. I don't know where the mix would be. I could see Storm changing the pour of it to make a mix pure plastic like the ice without really saying much, but I'm not sure. I know if this does happen, don't worry, USBC will have a full list of every single ball that is going to not be available for play after a year. So don't worry about that. We will find out if this ever goes through. Bigfoot, should I still get a purple? I mean, I think right now we have to operate business as usual. We have to operate like there's nothing going on. So if you need a purple for the upcoming season, you can definitely buy one. Just know that within a year or 2 years, it might not be, there's a chance that it won't be allowed. Eric, what's your opinion on the mix? Yeah, we just hit that one. Awesome. Fugs, bring on the ban. Drop the ban hammer. Big Dragon, it sounds like I'm talking video games. Any video game fans out there, you know, like video games in competitive environments will like ban stuff and drop the ban hammer, and that's what this sounds like. Big Dragon, I sometimes use my ice instead of my pitch black because it would still hook a little bit. Is that a good idea? They're gonna do very different things. So it is an option, but urethane is always gonna go through the pins better. Let's see. Lord Farquaad's Ghost. What if it's all a strategy to sell more levels? It's not. Don't worry. There's no like Illuminati of bowling who's trying to sell more balls. That's not really why this is happening. It's USBC operates under their own accord. They do take a lot of, they do discuss with the ball companies a ton, of course, because the ball companies are a major factor in the bowling world. But nah, this isn't a way to just sell more balls. Let's see, but what about the PWBA? So PWBA operates under all USBC rules because USBC owns the PWBA. USBC owns the rights to the PWBA, where, as we know, Bolero owns PBA. So all PWBA events then would go under USBC rulings. So that is how that would operate. G. Bryant, the poll is the USBC poll that I recommend all of you answer to determine if urethane should be banned or not, or the various other reasons, because they do give a couple options. I don't think I have it up right now, do I? No. I believe the options that they give you are you can you want urethane to still be legal, but you want the 78 hardness rule. So that would get rid of purples and pitch blacks, and it would only allow IQ 78s, black hammers, and whatever future urethanes are too hard or very hard. There was one option of just ban it completely from all play. One option was ban it from national competitions only, like I mentioned, Junior Gold, US Open, USBC Masters, Nationals, USBC Open Championships, and Women's Championships. And the other option was, or there were two more options. One of them was do not ban it, and the other one was I don't care. That one's kind of funny that they put that on there, which is kind of entertaining, but. Yeah, it'll be, I mean, and one of the big questions, I think, actually, I wish I could find Simo's answer, because in the comments, if you dig into some of his comments, he said urethane made people's careers. I mean, we can't really disagree in some ways, so that's a fair point where, like, yeah, I saw Jesper would be pissed. I mean, that is about 99% of the bowling balls he uses. Now, will he adapt? Maybe. However, like Buttriff hasn't yet adapted to the black hammer versus the purples. So it's interesting. Tom Farfin, pattern integrity. Pros and high-level amateurs know how to manipulate patterns. If they work together, they can create a high-scoring condition. Absolutely. As you noticed in the PBA this year, they still can average 230 on some ridiculously hard stuff, because those guys all know the proper way to break a lane down and the proper areas of the lane to score high. So that is why you still see scores that skyrocket in the PBA. That's still very much a thing. Bigfoot, we hit. Let's see, where are we at? Steven, to ban old technology, not a good word. Reactive is supposed to be better. By banning urethane, you're admitting urethane is better. So that's the thing. Again, for anyone just joining us, urethane of today's age, purple hammer, pitch black, IQ 78, black hammer, yada, yada, they are not the urethanes that everybody knew in the 80s and 90s. They are two completely different bowling balls. Very, very different bowling balls. The current ones have have resin in them, so they actually can continue through the pins. Old urethane did not continue. That's why you had to play up first to second arrow. You couldn't wheel the whole lane with it. And that's why also there was a lot less oil on the lane. These new ones it's different technology. Unfortunately, they share the same name. That is unfortunately a misstep in bowling. They are not the same balls at all. Let's see. We got so many comments. We are going to keep flying through all the comments. Anyone just joining us, we're flying through as many comments as we can from you guys talking about the urethane ban and any other bowling news, but it's, come on. We know it's all about the urethane ban. That's what the big news is. That's what we're hitting on here today. That is what we're hitting on here. Ralphie was going to get a Scorpion Striker Sublime for my ball down after an XL, but should I do a Gremlin? All three of them will work well. Sublime will be hard to find. Strike will be super cheap. Gremlin is good. Gremlin is a good ball. RJ, don't knock my torpedo direct hit. I'm not a fan. I have a full video trashing that ball, which is my most disliked video, which is awesome. I didn't think people liked that ball that much. Anon, do you think the college scene will change if they ban it? College scene will get turned on its head. The college scene right now is purple hammers. Everyone gets a purple. And then you do that until you can't anymore. And then you take a big old step left and then you wheel the lane. College, you are going to see a lot of players, like a lot of the rankings change a lot. While yes, a lot of the best urethane players are also the best reactive players, 100%, but there's a lot of players who do truly rely on urethane. I do believe that there are many, many players out there on all skill levels of bowling, whether professional and lower, where urethane is a crutch. It's not a tool. I think urethane is best as a tool. I think that's where it really has a good spot. Right now, it's a crutch for some people, and that's really tough, where people are only throwing purples on everything. Junior Gold, for example, where it was just purples. I had a lot of jokes when I made my Junior Gold arsenal of people saying, just bring 5 purples. There's a little bit of truth to that, seeing some of the racks out at Junior Gold. But yes, college is going to be absolutely turned, completely flipped on its head if this happens. Let's see. NJX, as a lefty, I have a purple, a black 78, and a new. I was planning on getting another purple and black. Yeah, I mean, you still can. Absolutely. It's not like it's getting banned this year. It's 2025. It will not get banned. The earliest I've heard is August of 26. But even that might be too soon. It might be 27. Like when the weight holes were banned, it took them, I think, 2 full years to actually fully put it into play because they like to wait a little longer to make sure everybody can catch up. Yofo, would urethanes for lefties still be an advantage if it's used on house shots? No. In my opinion, no, because a reactive ball will, the goal of urethane is you want it to hook early in a lot more oil and be smoother. So a reactive ball, I mean, for house shots, you want a ball hooking later. You don't want it hooking too early because you don't want to be leaving corner pins. You want to be, you know, throwing pins around because that's how you score on a house shot. So I don't think so. Ken, back in my day, we only had rubber and plastic. Only scrubs need urethane or reactive. Everybody gets a rubber ball. No, please no. I don't want my pro shop smelling like garbage. Please. Anything but that. Yeah, Walter Ray, Big B. The ban would apply to everyone as long as the playing field is level, then deal with it in stride. Being able to adapt is just another skill, whether it's lane conditions or the ball you could use. And bowling is always a never-ending, evolving game. This game is going to evolve forever because of technology, just like every other sport in the world. There is no sport in the world that has paused evolving. I mean, baseball, for example, throwing 101 is common. In 2015, it was not common. So that every sport is evolving in so many different ways, and this is just a step for bowling. Hyper, we can tell ZVL favors the urethane ban. I am not really in favor or against either. I'm in the middle. I understand where USBC is coming from. On the ruling side, I am very much like a rules boy of like follow the rules, everybody. I've always been that way of like fairness in that sense. And I do really, one of the biggest problems with urethane is that they can be insanely soft and they're not accessible for all bowlers. So like I said, old purple hammers, like I have one, I can throw it. I've shredded people with urethane, like something I've done, but that's the toughest piece with it, in my opinion. The lane play, like lanes changing, that's not a big deal, but not being able to get old purple hammers that can get down to a 60 hardness is tough. All right, we have so many comments. Do you think collegiate will take a hit? Yep, we talked about that one. My 4 bowling balls over 6 years are fine. There you go, Dragon. Perfect. Cody S. That's hilarious. Chuck Campbell, what about Motive Tank series? That would not be banned at all. The microcell polymer balls, I think, would be okay. Big Dragon, are you familiar with the Belmo Storm balls? Yeah, absolutely. I've owned a couple of them. I had a Journey. I had a Fate. And then a couple more before that I, of course, know about, but I wasn't able to throw a lot. Ralph B. ZVL is picking the I don't care option. Low-key, I have not answered it yet. I have not answered the poll yet. I was either going to later tonight or early tomorrow, was going to be my goal. Bayou, bought a purple slammer for my first sport league, have thrown it all of 5 games, and now they're talking about banning it. Bayou, you're the reason. You're the reason this is getting banned, man. Oh, Combat Tank too. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Gerald, wasn't Don McCune using the MEK on the rubber balls? That I don't know the story of, so I can't really talk on that regard. If somebody else in comments knows, please do. Too Tall, do you think the price of the level is going down in the future? Yeah, that's actually a good question. For full context, the storm level was actually slowly getting discounted, little by little. It was probably going to get down to about 140, 150 bucks compared to its regular 200. With this news, I could see a nice little uptick in price for the level. It would not surprise me. That ball was going to get discontinued actually soon. Like I would give it till September before the level got kicked out. It just didn't work. It just sold very poorly for the price, which is, you know, disappointing, but the ball wasn't great. Diman. I played League in Sweden against young players that had 2 arrows to miss and still get to the pocket. Urethane makes the game stupid and changes the game and makes it stupid. That is a very, very good point of the European scene. European leagues, I don't remember which one, actually banned urethane. Or no, they banned purples, I think, because that's all people threw. That's all it was in Europe, which was crazy. Like, I think Thomas Larson had a lot of posts on his Insta where it was just purple. It was nuts. Yeah, Don, thank you. Yeah, ZVL is my initials. So yeah, ZVL bowling is just my initials. Cody, I can email you some links on Twitch if you want to see me bowling. Yeah, for sure, Cody. Big Mike, they won't even come close to banning two-handed. No, they will never ban two-handed bowling. They'll never ban a style at all. Their closest thing to like limit two-handers was getting rid of the weight hole, which was 100% the right move. Like two-handers having two holes to put a weight hole was crazy. You could make that ball do bonkers things. Let's see. Let's scroll down a little bit. Rick, I love how I just got a pitch black and this comes out. The timing is not great for a lot of people. A lot more people bought urethanes lately than I expected. Don, save the mix. Hashtag don't ban the mix. That is his, that's actually my spare ball too. Oh shoot. I didn't think about that. Oh no. I am throwing a mix at my spares. Oh no, USBC, please. Let me keep my plastic. Actually, no, I need a cool looking ice. That's what I need. Do you think this will affect collegiate we hit? Sealand, Weston. So would it be safe to buy a level? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's 100% safe to buy a level. Don't worry about that. Do not worry about that. Scoop Rice, 2018 purples. 2018 purples were the busted ones. That is true. Yes. Yeah, Jason, 247 watchers. I know thank you everybody. This is our largest live stream by miles, by at least 100 concurrent. So huge thank you to everybody over on YouTube who's watching, and even on TikTok. There's a ton of you too. So huge thank yous to hopping in. For anyone who's just hopping into the stream, today we are talking about the urethane ban that just got alluded to, we'll say. It isn't confirmed to happen yet. What USBC, the governing body of bowling, did is they put out a poll stating these are the reasons that we have been looking into urethane and the fairness of it over the last couple of months. And then they gave a poll for all bowlers to answer. So if you want your voice heard on if urethane should be banned or not, then please go answer that poll. It's out on all of their social media pages and on their main website. So please go answer that to whatever you think is the correct answer in that poll. They give a ton of different answers that you can do, such as only banning the non-78 hardness bowling balls. They give an option to only ban it in national competition, which is Junior Gold, Open Championships, USBC Masters, US Open, USBC Women's. A lot of different options, so please go answer that. But we are talking specifically about the ban of urethane bowling balls. We are talking about the potential ban of all urethanes that might be happening, that USBC alludes to, and that rumors have been happening for a while. So a lot of interesting things right now. A lot of crazy news going around. And if you want to hear some bowlers' opinions, just scroll on Facebook or TikTok. You're going to hear a lot of them. I have heard a lot of bowlers of all different shapes and sizes giving their 2 cents on it, which is interesting to hear, like league bowlers or tournament bowlers, professionals, open play bowlers, not even league bowlers. Like, it's crazy. All right, let's see. Where are we at? We are reading out a lot of comments, getting your guys' opinions on what this looks like, on what your opinion are for the urethane ban, trying to get an idea of what the community is thinking. My overall goal for this channel is trying to be a voice for the community to a lot of larger bowling entities, because a lot of the bowling companies do watch the channel, and I want to be a good representative for you guys. So it's really good to see where you guys are all falling on this scale. But let's keep reading a couple comments that are coming in right now. Big Dragon, is there a ball that can get down the lane and snap? Yeah, I think we hit that one with the Hater Pearl a little while ago. Slapstick, love the name. I used my purple for a spare ball. I did a hardness test when I bought it, 75. Then I didn't clean it from March to this week. Cleaned it, now it's 74.8. Calling this softness false. There have been very much proven studies by multiple sources, USBC creating the difference, all showing that urethane does get softer over time. That has been very much a proven factual statement, that urethane balls, as you throw them, and it's not just like leaving them, but it's as you throw them, get softer. I know Brunswick has come against this a handful of times. They're partially doing that to try to, like, they are the ones who are benefiting most from urethane being really good, being the owners of the Purple Hammer. But yes, urethanes do get softer over time as you throw them. Reactive balls actually get harder over time as you throw them. That's why your ball reaction gets worse and worse as worse. The cover stock is getting harder as it absorbs oil. Let's see. Modus, slip agent will be good for 6 frames and gone. Johnny Baylor looking to replace my Black Widow. I love it, but getting used up. What motive option? Evoke is a good option. Jackal Onyx is going to be a little stronger. Evoke is going to be the closest. Otherwise, a Jackal Ghost is a really good one too. Dom, tell them not to ban it. I haven't bought a purple yet. Meech, don't think it should be banned, but possibly regulated. Many I know agree. You're on a house is diabolical and it's not okay. Tim's Finds. Anyone who's paying attention has saw this coming. Yeah, absolutely. I did just have a video go out like last week questioning why have there been no urethanes that have been released for so long? Because we haven't had a urethane announcement or release since March of 2024, which is crazy. Judge, what's happening with the bans? Is urethane just not allowed? No, urethane is being looked into, investigated of if they should ban it and how they should ban it if they do. Is it banned everywhere? Is it banned in only certain tournaments? What is it going to be? And they are asking for bowlers' opinions on this. I see. I have the Covert Tank. How do you feel about it? The Covert Tank is fine. It's technically microcell, so it isn't urethane, but it does have that urethane-like feel to it. So you're okay with that. You're definitely okay with that. Better be given an exchange policy. I'll be interested to see what they do with that. I don't think they would give an exchange policy because that would probably put Motive out of business, would be my guess. But something to keep track of. Let's see. Craig, off the urethane topic, but I think it would benefit a lot of people to at least see a coach. Not necessarily just to make their game better, also prevent future ailments. 100%. You're right. Absolutely. Coaches are very important as long as you find a good one. There's a lot of bad bowling coaches out there. Recommend the good ones. It's hard to find who the good ones are. That's one of the toughest questions, but yes, a coach is always beneficial. Waniac, what is going on, man? Good to see you. Don, this is just creating divisiveness between USBC members. Watch people almost yell at each other. Oh, if you just scroll, I mean, Anthony Simonson's post I have up. He has a good post about what happened. And yeah, the comments are just tearing each other apart. If you look at any video, any TikTok, any YouTube video about people talking about this, you will see more comments than likes, which is a sign that it's something not good. It's something that is a little bit decisive. Little bit, or divisive, my bad, not decisive, divisive. Taganze, I'm sure Storm and Brunswick are in favor. Urethane balls last a long time, less sales. Reactive barely lasts a year. I don't think Brunswick is. I feel like Storm is because Brunswick has been running everybody over in terms of urethane. They just have. It's overall better. So yeah, I can see that. Dom, thank you for all the gifts over on TikTok. Appreciate that. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Craig, Illuminati. Everyone knows that we're under Masonic rule. Nicholas, do you agree with the ban idea? I understand both sides of the argument. I don't really have a one way that I'm leaning. I very much get where USBC is coming from. They're not just saying we don't like this, so we don't want it. No, there's really good reasons. I lean more towards banning purples, in my opinion, purples and pitch blacks, because they are so soft. They are like old ones are very, very soft. And that is definitely an issue because a lot of people can't buy those anymore. They're actually harder now than they were a couple of years ago, just out of the factory. So that's one of the bigger things. Big B, I'm in the I don't care camp, which is totally fine too. If it doesn't affect you, that's okay. Nicholas, Jesper and Butcher are going to hurt. It's going to be interesting. And Packy. Yeah, Packy is, the weird thing is Packy is like the best lefty with reactive. The hard thing is like as a lefty on tour, you don't throw anything else. It's just easier to throw urethane. That's just how it is. Every year, every person on tour throws urethane just for every tournament. The only times they don't is when what is going on here? Anyone to sorry, lost my train of thought on a message from my mom. She is getting absolutely destroyed by a storm right now. Minnesota is getting peppered by they got like 4 inches of rain this morning, so apologies for that. But no, Packy is probably the best reactive ball thrower of lefties, but it's just you just have to throw urethane to keep up, because if everybody's throwing urethane and you're not, you're behind is kind of the general theme. James D, will we see more short pin layouts? We might see a resurgence of short pin bowling balls. That might happen. That is the next way to mimic urethane is short pin. I mean, that was Mo Pinnell's biggest thing is you don't need urethane, you need short pin bowling balls. So we might fall into the short pin version of the short pin era of bowling. It could be a thing where everybody now, instead of needing a urethane for tournaments, needs a short pin ball. That could be interesting, which is going to put a lot of pressure on pro shops to get positive access points. NorCal, this happens in all sports. Equipment that is deemed to give unfair advantage is banned. Absolutely. It happens in every sport. This is not a bowling specific thing. This happens everywhere. Remember when the torpedo bats were brought out this year? The investigation in them was huge. The public outrage was huge because the Yankees had like 6 home runs in a game. Granted, it was against the Athletics. So like, it's the Yankees. It's Aaron Judge. He's going to hit 60 home runs this year. So it wasn't as big, but yeah, that happens in every sport. Ken, let's go back to rubber, except Robert Smith said he will not drill a rubber ball. Oh, I won't either. No, you will not find a pro shop who will drill a rubber ball. They reek. They stink worse than you can ever imagine. Des, if they ban urethane, they should ban plastic and make everybody throw reactive at spares. Yeah, you'll never see that, but yeah, that has been something that's been thrown around a lot. Joke. Simo also admitted it circles back to patterns. Personally, I don't think urethane is the issue. No, urethane, I think, is 100. Well, I think urethane is still the issue because we've gone into a point where you can throw urethane on any pattern, and lane patterns are being made to try to lock out urethane. They're not even made to try to pick certain parts of the lane. Old patterns, like a lot of the time, Nick Hoagland is notorious for this. He's like, I'm making a pattern, and to score, you got to play here or wherever it may be. But now it's turned into, we need to make a pattern where everybody is not throwing urethane, and we don't have 5 urethane people being the top 5. So he does have really good points there. I mean, he sees it on tour all the time. The tour patterns are the perfect example of that. They tried putting so much volume on the lanes to try to prevent urethane, and it worked better than people thought it would, but it still wasn't great. Justin Myers, off the urethane topic, but severe collision versus hater pearl. No, severe collision will be a little smoother and earlier, bigger core and stronger cover. And the hater pearl is just gonna be a little bit later and a lot sharper, a bit sharper. Big Mike, Packy has been using a lot more reactive as of late to try to not have the urethane crutch, but Packy will use urethane when he's struggling. And that's been everyone was, I think a lot of people were kind of just waiting for it more than like being surprised. I think this has been something that a lot of the pros have been just kind of expecting to happen since the first purples got banned, and since PBA banned all purples. I think they were kind of thinking like, all right, we might go to it. Vatican, advice on increasing bowling average besides making spares. I only bowl open twice a week. I would recommend bowling a lot of games. Try to focus just on form. Don't focus on score. Focus on your form. Increase your speed, your consistency, and your rev rate should be your #1 goal. Cody, I don't care about Thane as long as they're above the hardness rule. If they stay there, and yeah, it all depends because urethane, it's so tough to get the hardness of a ball. You need a durometer scale. Those things ain't cheap. Those things are not cheap. Just like a surface scanner. Not cheap at all, which kind of stinks. I wish it was. I really, really wish it was. All right, we're going to be skipping a couple comments here. Darius, do you think removing urethane will bring more bowling forward? So this is a really good point. I forgot to mention this. I wrote this one down. Let's see if I find it. Oh, there it is. Andrew Anderson posted on his Instagram story that a lot of bowlers are not looking towards the future, towards the next 5 to 10 years, which is a very interesting quote. He kept it very like, I'm not picking one side or the other, kind of like Simo did. He never picked one side or the other. But I think for the future, it's very interesting what that means. Like, if we banned it, today, 2025, in 2030, what will bowling ball tech look like? What will be the focus? It's a good point. It's a fair point. I don't know. I think looking forward, I think one rule going forward that would be good is that every ball that people throw either has a replacement that is equally good or can be purchased. You don't want to make it a pay-to-win sport. And like I've mentioned a few times, the old purple hammers that you cannot buy anymore they were created softer and are officially softer. You can't find them anymore, so it's tough. Yeah, it's a tough question. Very tough question. Mr. Ranger, how can you tell if a purple hammer is made in Mexico? You give me 30 seconds, 10 seconds. I just gotta find my purples. All right. Here we go. We will show you. All right. 2 purple hammers, right? Here's one. Boom. Very, very bright green pin, but very, very bright logo. Let's see. The serial number for this one is FOB 32006. So doesn't really mean much. This is the old Kentucky purple that has been hit with many 500 pads, but you can tell the logo is just dead. The Mexico logos are a lot brighter. Also is green pin. Mine has been plugged about 98 times. If we scroll over, why am I saying scroll? I've been in the office too much. There it is. My serial number starts with a 9. So that is how you can tell if it starts with a 9, 8, or 7, it's a Kentucky one. Now the 8s and the 7s are banned. 9 is legal. This is the last batch of legal purple hammers. But if it starts with like an F or a number or something, or sorry, a letter, then it's a Mexico purple hammer. All right, Billy Ball. Lefties aren't going to get college scholarships for bowling anymore. Oh, I mean, man, that would be sad. No, I think a lot of lefties will find different ways. I mean, there's still plenty of ways to score. Like, I'm on a tournament team right now in Minnesota, and our lefties have won more tournaments than our righties. Because when the left is good with reactive, you can crush them. You can absolutely demolish the scores. But if it's not there, it's a lot tougher. Matt, better have an exchange system. That'll be interesting. Big Mike, why are there so much hate on plastic now the discussion is banning urethane? I think it's kind of like, if we're banning this, then we should ban this too. But plastic and urethane aren't anywhere close. And like the argument that they're making against urethane is not close to why you would argue against plastic. Matt, they did it for storm balls for the exchange system. Yeah, let's talk about an exchange system and why they gave rebates or exchanges for a lot of those storm balls that were too soft. That was like the Altered Reality, the Phase 4, all those balls. The Spectre, I think it was Spectre, right? Yeah, it was Spectre. That was the banned one because they remade it into the Revenant. That was harder. The reason they did those is because they were not legal for PBA competition as of the day that they made the announcement. So they said, so USBC came out and said, as of today, which was say March 1st or something, these balls are not legal. And because they didn't give a time frame, they allowed you and forced you to be able to do that exchange program. If a ball is deemed illegal for a reason that's already in the rules, then they have to exchange it. This actually almost made Motive go bankrupt early on because their original Jackal was actually illegal. It had too high of a differential. So Motive had to replace every single Jackal that was ever sold and give them a free ball. And this almost put them under. It's amazing how Motive stayed alive after that. So Storm had to do the same thing. But I think because this urethane ban is a rule that doesn't exist already, they probably wouldn't have you do that, would be my guess now. That could change. Yeah, Don had it perfectly. That was an insta ban. They aren't going to do it with the purple because you know it'll be coming. And they're going to give you a long time between whenever, if it gets announced and when it would go into place. Don, new shirt idea. Real bowlers don't use urethane. Oh, no. That would only make a couple people upset. 1, 2, 7, or 8. Yeah, 12, 13. Abe, yep, we hit what does ZVL stand for? 'Tis my initials. Quick little shameless plug. If you guys are first hopping to the channel for the first time, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are having a good time here. My name's Zach, running ZVL Bowling, ton of different social media platforms all across the internet. We talk everything and anything bowling. We talk bowling balls, bowling news like we are now. We talk how to make you a better bowler with better bowling arsenals, better bowling bags, picking bowling balls that fit your game well. So please check us out on any of those platforms. Make sure to follow or subscribe. That's the best way to be notified for new videos. I gotta check what we have tomorrow. I think we had a pretty cool video. Oh, tomorrow I'm trying to start a new series with bowling companies. So I need if you have a connection to a bowling company, then we're gonna have a video coming out where we are actually asking bowling companies, hey, you guys want to do like a press conference type thing so we understand bowling balls a little bit better. So coming soon. Be cool if that actually takes off. Otherwise, we have a lot of other cool videos on the channel, so really appreciate if you drop a follow or sub. But let's keep going on all of the comments coming in. Joseph, the idea of banning urethane is a backdoor approach to banning lefties and two-handers. No, it has nothing against lefties or two-handers. Don't worry about that. This is not like that somebody being spiteful towards either. Now, lefty two-handers we got to talk about. That's a whole different story. No, they are not doing it for those people. They're not trying to cut out any type. Claire ban sleeper pins because I always miss them. There was, I got a quick story time. There's a guy on TikTok who he is unfortunately has been a guy who has not said anything positive or actually truthful about bowling ever. He said we should ban the 7 and the 10 pin and take them out of racks, and then we should make 20-pound bowling balls was his push. If you're on, I'm not gonna say his name, but if you're on TikTok, you might have seen him once or twice. I got taken aback by that, but I mean, someone's in your corner, Claire, where might looking out for you by wanting to get rid of 7s and 9s. So sleeper might be next. Let's see. Derek, what about lefties? Yeah, lefties would be, it's going to be tough. Smitty, no mix equals excuse to get the red ice. Dude, the red ice sold out. I was so pissed. I was so set on getting it. I had a guy who we follow on Insta I met in Detroit, Brandon, who was like, yo, you get one? I'm going to cop one too. And they were sold out. I'm putting the tinfoil hat on that somebody watching bought the red ice before I could, which I'm pissed about. That thing looked awesome. The red ice looks so cool. For anyone who didn't see it, I had a video on Bowler Asylum. It's a website that has a lot of overseas balls. They had a bright red Storm Ice plastic ball. Looked super dope. And it sold out before I could grab it. Let's see. Hoosier, bring back the blue dot. Ooh, blue dot for 2025. Modus, you need a silver sniper ball. More cash, more spares. Oh, God. $200 spare ball, please no. Elijah, I know a two-handed lefty who's in 900 global staff. He joked partially about bringing a bag of just levels. Honestly, like, yeah, might as well. Gaper, I'm scalping the red ice. I got 30. You better not. I will hunt you down. Duncan, I'm probably late to the party, but how do you think short patterns would change or play without urethane? We would probably go back to like 2010, 2015 short patterns where your goals on a short pattern is to... I don't really have a good way to show this, but your goal is just like forward roll. You want that ball rolling so forward so it doesn't go off the spot too hard, and you're gonna be throwing really big, really slow asims. That was the old way to score on short patterns. I think that would come back a little bit, would be my guess. Gremory on Twitch, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. Lord Farquaad's ghost again. I love the name, dude. Urethane should be an unlockable item, like in games need to have an honor score first. Lock it behind an achievement wall. That's a new one. That you are the first to say that. Congratulations. Corey, does that mean you won't be able to use it as your spare ball? That, yes, you wouldn't be able to use it for spare balls also. Zach, go to Elise Bolton. She has the Simo post. Yeah, I'll check out Elise's Facebook. I just said face. That brings up not the stuff that I wanted it to. There we go. Elise Bolton Facebook. Better. Let's see. Not that post. Finally, one of the best in the world posting the truth. You cannot argue with someone who has this much success at the highest level of the sport. 250 comments. Yeesh. Oh gosh. That's a lot of comments. Yeah, nope, that is, yeah, that's Simo. And Simo didn't delete it or anything. Fred Flintstone. Hey, we got Fred Flintstone hanging out. What's going on? Got a question for me. Yeah, shoot it away. Hey, Grumpa, what's up, man? As an assistant coach for the first time this upcoming season, I'm not looking forward to potentially angry parents who already bought balls for their kid. Oh, no. You're jumping in at a bad time. Not the best time to jump in. Buff Wolf over on Twitch. Why did my voice crack? I'll go through puberty one day. That Storm Ice looks so good. Yeah, it looks so good. Smitty, no, but Elise is pissing me off. I understand being a hater on a tight ball, but she's just being rude. Yeah, I mean, Elise has been interesting lately. I have noticed that. Tokyo, I'm newer and still building an arsenal. Glad I never got around to urethane. Hey, that's perfect. As long as they don't ban rubber. Sea Lance, they will not ban rubber, but you will never get a rubber ball drilled. They stank. Fred, I'm a 160 average bowler, fairly new. I basically have no ability to hook the ball. What ball should I look at? I'm a full roller too. One, I'd recommend that your ball is actually drilled correctly for full roller. That's a very important thing. To make sure that the layout is actually good. Because if the layout's not good on a full roller ball, it's not going to hook. But if you're fairly new, I'd recommend something just lower end, like a Hustle or maybe I think an Arctic Vibe would be a great choice. It's cheap and it hooks a lot. Gremory, I was wondering, I know bowlers need a bowl with 14 to 16 pound balls, but is there a weight limit on spare balls? No, you don't have to bowl with 14 to 16. 16 is just the max for the machines and the lanes to actually be able to handle, because when you get heavier, the lanes just get destroyed and lane panels are not cheap at all. So yeah, you can throw whatever you want, but I always recommend the same weight. Lornus, I think instead of banning Thane, they should ban additives from them. Ooh, you're getting deep with that, and we're getting into the physics side of it, which that is a whole nother conversation that would be entertaining to get into. Sam Jones, do you think Storm's going to come out with any more balls anytime soon? Yes, they have the Cove and the Ember coming out in middle of August, and then after that, we should have an announcement like end of August is my guess. Sam, sorry, man. Dead polymers, ban reactive, leave urethane reown. Reactives are the real clutch. Oh, that'll never happen. Yeah, we won't see that. Billy Ball, it's the middle of the summer, usually a slow time for bowling. Oh, I know, dude. It's been the craziest summer for bowling stuff. I very much expected like, oh, we're not going to have much for news, not many new bowling balls. And then it's like, nah, we're just going to pepper you with some of the biggest bowling news of the last 3 years. Why not? Caffeine at 7:12 p.m. is a bad choice. Here we are. Bowling Brian, I don't have any inside knowledge, but I feel if the ban comes, that it will start with tournaments for a while before moving down. I could see that too, that like in 5 years it would be leagues, but in 1 year it'll be that high level stuff. That would make sense. Let's see. Heat. Sean Rash pulled some strings. Trust me, Sean does not have that kind of pull. He does not have enough pull to be able to do something like this. In the slightest. Not even close. Acid over on Twitch. I just ordered my Black Hammer urethane for tournaments. Oh, you'll still be good for the year. Don't worry. It's not getting banned tomorrow. That's if it does go through, it'll be okay. It's a ball. Who cares? If it makes the game a bit harder for others, and I guess they need to try something else. But it isn't just, yeah, that's kind of like saying like, oh yeah, just use a metal bat in Major League Baseball. Like there's a reason it got banned. There's a reason there's no metal bats in baseball. And that's kind of like urethane too. Sea Lance, green pin purple hammer is still legal on the EBT. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. It's green pins are still good. Dennis, you forgot one. Kyle Troop throws 78U. Yes. Yeah, he does like he's fantastic with reactive though. Big Dragon, if you need to take a second, text your bomb. Oh no, don't worry. She's good. She just sent me a picture of she said everything's fine and she sent me a picture of our puppy. So so no, we're good. Hotline, before a total ban, they should probably test reactive only events. They kind of did on the PBA with the Battle of the Brands, and I think we'll see more coming soon. I actually do bowl one every year. Our bowling center hosts we call it the Toughest Nails, where you can't throw plastic or urethane balls, which is wild. Very fun tournament. Very hard. Billy Ball, I like short pins for certain situations. They're tough. They're good in some cases, but they're tough. Corey, if urethane is so great, why doesn't everyone use it in league? Because they're not good for league. They're good for hard patterns. And that's the thing. If you're just a league bowler, this doesn't affect you that much. At the end of the day, the urethane ban does not affect you a whole lot if you are a league only bowler. If you bowl tournaments or you bowl non-house shots, that's where it matters. Because if you're on a house shot, you don't need urethane. You can find other options that are better and will go through the pins better. But if you bowl tournaments, then this is a big deal. Let's see. Big Mike, if people don't remember, they tried a urethane strike ball ban during the Battle of the Brands. They did. James, I did not get the red ice, unfortunately. Somebody stole it. Not really. They bought it first, but I think they stole it. Pete, ball manufacturers will have a field day with this. Yeah, I guarantee every person at the ball brands is going absolutely ham on making not urethane balls. 100%. Let's see. Landon, I might just get that Cove for the colors. What does that ball do? It's a symmetrical hybrid. So it's a super, super smooth symmetrical hybrid. It looks pretty good. I will be doing a review for it probably, I don't know when they come in. Next week, maybe? hopefully next week, maybe the week after. But yeah, I will be having a review of them. Two-handed bowler, my PSO recommends a Rockstar. Yeah, after that you talked with me. Yeah, no, I think a Rockstar is a good choice. It's a great ball. Rockstar is really good right now. Zach, I drilled a tropical storm to match my nephew's first ball, and on a house shot, that thing slapped. Hey, there you go. Good find. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Two-handed, got my shoes today, and they're amazing. Oh, love to hear that. We love some new shoes. Love the new shoes. Tim, take a sec to hit the like button, folks. Hey, listen to Tim. Tim's a smart dude. Yeah, go hit that like button if you haven't on whatever platform you're on. On TikTok, you just double tap the screen. On YouTube, there's a big old plus thumbs up icon. If you can hit that, that'd really be the best way to help support the channel. Otherwise, if you want to, shameless advertising is we do have Shammies. DH Lab, amazing bowling company, sells Shammies for us. They're awesome Shammies. Right now, there's some red, blue, and black ones. We'll have new colorways coming when those sell out. There's only about 50. I don't know how many are left right now. We do have ZVL merch too that I had to wear. So that's through Bowler Store. It is a fantastic shirt. Even though it's 117 degrees in my room right now. Frank, Don McCune used toluene, not mech. And I don't know the difference between those. I think that's the acetane versus non-acetane or acetone. Wayne, if the PBA banned adding surface to the ball, urethane wouldn't be an option. They're all sanding to 500 or less. So that is a really good point. Is some people have said, we have to ban surface, adding a lot of surface to a ball, because that's what makes urethane good. Because urethane is kind of hot garbage if you put 2000 grit on it. Like, then it just acts like a really weak, really smooth bowling ball that's just not good. That was a point that a lot of people made. The problem is enforcing it is near impossible. You can't do it. You would need like surface checkers at every single lane all the time to make sure people aren't sanding it in between or, like before practice or something. Or when they walk in, they need to check what the surface is, which is, it's just not really feasible to a certain degree. Not really feasible at all. Bradley, if they're becoming the ball police, then they need to limit the weights of bowling balls and only allow for certain types of balls for tournament play, which they do, Bradley. They have been the ball police for a long time. Yeah, they are very, very deep when it turns into, when it gets to like bowling ball rules and regulations. They have, I forget what the number is. I believe it's 25 bowling balls. Whenever a ball company wants to come out with a new ball, they send 25 or 50 to the USBC to test. They test all of them for hardness. They test the RGs, the differentials. They test everything and anything to make sure the ball's legal. Check the weights to make sure they're not too heavy. All of that stuff. So they check a ton of different things. So they have been the ball police for a long time. Eric, they're going to be chips installed in the ball. Nah, bowling's too cheap for that. Be cool. It'd be awesome, but nah. Bigfoot, how long of a delay do you have on your live stream? It's fairly quick. However, there are just so many comments that I'm getting through that I'm about 20 minutes behind, which is the one negative. Ben Bleacher, did you see Tom Doherty's post about the urethane ban? I did, and he is very anti-urethane ban. It would not surprise me, though. He is like a guy who's won a lot with the purple and the black hammer. I mean, he just won the USBC senior or he won a senior tournament throwing just the black hammer. So, or was it no, it was the black hammer. It might've been the purples. I don't remember. Either way, he threw it only urethane. He was the only guy to throw only urethane. And, he runs into the issue of like a lot of the guys who like shred people with urethane. Of course, they don't want urethane gone. Like if I was Jacob Buttroff, if I was Kevin Williams, I would never want urethane gone. I would want urethane to stay forever. Like, that sounds awful. That was like when the first purple hammers got banned for being too soft. The ones who were against it were Brunswick. Like, of course, it's their ball. They're the ones who are dominating with it. So you're going to see a lot of clapback from a lot of Brunswick staffers and a lot of Brunswick fans. And a lot of people who just win a lot with urethane. So that's kind of going to be where that line is drawn. There's also going to be like the people who win a lot with urethane obviously don't want it kicked out by any means. Easy bowling stats. The top bowlers will find a way to make their equipment defeat whatever pattern they're on. All I would like to see is USBC and PBA have the same rules. Yes, I would adore the same rules on both systems. That would be amazing. That's asking for far too much, though, which is unfortunate. Okay, my comments did catch up. Oh, first of all, Timmy, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Timmy. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you. My stepfather, age 76, wanted a strong ball. Ordered a hammer, Pure Envy. Oh, that's a fantastic choice. That is a very good strong ball. Also really cheap right now. If you need a cheap ball that's actually going to be really good, the Pure Envy is a lot of bowling ball. Super strong, smoother bowling ball. Ricky, $2 super chat. Thank you, Ricky. What ball is closest to the Crux Pearl? Ooh. Equinox is going to be the closest you get right now. Equinox is going to be the closest. It's going to be a little quicker than that Crux Pearl, but still a good option. Dead polymers. If you ban urethane, you still need a smooth early option. Companies will develop something close, but not the same. 100%. There will be so many balls that are like the level that are going to get released. Gandhi, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good morning to you. Chuck Campbell, is a lefty I throw big ASIMs? Yes, that is the way that you do it. Dennis, I just got a single drill multicolor hammer taboo spare ball with a gas mask cord. Nice. Nice. Let's scroll a little bit. Don, if they ban lefties, I'll just switch to righty. You can't ban me. Brown, if the USBC bans urethane, it should only be for tournaments, not league. And that's what it seems like they're kind of leaning towards when they gave that option in their poll. For anyone just joining us, USBC has a poll that went out where you can vote on if you want urethane fully banned, if you want it banned at the national level, so only at big tournaments, it would still be legal in league play, or if you want all urethane banned except if it has a 78 hardness or above. So that'd be the IQ 78 and the Black Hammer would be the only legal ones. Or if you don't want it banned at all, it's the other one. So make sure to go vote in that USBC poll. You can find it on all their social media sites, whether it be, I believe, Facebook, Instagram, or their main website. Why did I say website like that? I have no idea. Dancing Beagles. Oh, that's an awesome name. Favorite motive ball for no thumb bowler, high rev rate to complement and evoke hysteria? Venom Shock. Venom Shock every time. Gandhi, can't able to join at 4:30 with busy schedules, getting fully tired. No, it's all good, man. Do not worry. It is insanely early for you over there. So, no, I understand. Don, we hit. Swatsy, couldn't we just throw NU if urethane gets banned? We could, 100%. NU balls will be better. Will be like the option, but they are not urethane. If you have a bunch of people throwing purple hammers and you try throwing a blue hammer, you're going to get left in the dust. It just is very, very different. Heat, I rolled a gremlin yesterday. Not bad, but I am... Oh, the rest of your comment got cut off. But no, the gremlin's interesting. I got to throw it more. Yofo, 20-pound bowling balls. Let's start throwing balls with our feet while we're at it. Let's start kicking. For any SpongeBob fans, is this the part where we start kicking? Amazing Robin, putting surface on a pearl make any sense? Yes, absolutely it can. 100% it can. RB, the best thing you could do for your bowling ball in game is to try new surfaces. Always. Gandhi, generally urethane bowling balls are best for flat patterns. What are the alternatives then? I think really smooth and slow bowling balls. Big, strong asymmetricals, Jackalonics, Ion Max. I was about to say Omega Crux. Ion Max, Mesmerize, Criterion. Criterion's on sale right now for no reason. Otherwise, urethane-like bowling balls. The microcell polymers from Motive. Some of the NU balls, like the Rattler NU that was discontinued. Things like that. Those are all going to be good options. Chuck, need urethane-only tournament? That would be wild. That would be wild. Acid, we hit. Jonas, what do you think of my bag? Crimson Jackal, Phase 2, Typhoon, Venom Shock, Purple Tank. Yeah, it looks pretty good right now. I like it. Hey, Serenity, what's going on? What's your take on the new Motive entry-level ball? That is another one we haven't talked about yet because there's been a little bit of other news going on. But the Motive Ascend is coming out. It is the first Motive ball made overseas. It is made in, I believe I was told, China by a couple of people. Entry-level ball, super, super weak bowling ball. Looks very different. Doesn't look like a Motive ball in the slightest. It's a good entry-level option. It's going to compare to like a Tropical Surge. It's going to compare to a Rhino is really what it's going to be. You're picking one up tomorrow. Nice. Let me know how it is. Let me know if you like it or not. Jason Boyer, urethane is more prevalent because of the high volumes of oil and pattern development and the 2-to-2 loads. Yeah, the harder a pattern is, the more urethane you see. If you put out a house shot, you're not going to see the #1 guy throwing urethane. If you put out a 2-to-1 sport shot, it's going to be a urethane guy, usually, it's kind of how it goes. Gene, I can do the same thing with a plastic ball that has a core. I can do it with a urethane. Stretch pattern and move oil. The stretching pattern and moving oil isn't really the problem. But I guarantee that a purple hammer will look better in your hands than that plastic ball with a core. Because the flaring actually would cause issues. You need that strong cover, weak core like a urethane has, not the weak cover, strong core like those plastics do. Yofo, your live stream is the only thing keeping me from quitting bowling completely. Oh, thank you, Yofo. Appreciate. I'm glad I'm able to keep you in here. I'm glad I'm able to keep you into the world of bowling, and hopefully while you get through like being completely burnt out, hopefully this can give you your nice little like taste of bowling for the week, basically. Acid, I just ordered my black hammer. Rick, too tough. What ball would be closest to the Crux Pro we hit? Chris, they're only going to hurt bowling if they ban urethane. If you can't adjust, then you need to practice more. Let's just all make tournament one ball only. No, I mean, they're only going to hurt bowling if they ban urethane. I don't think so. I don't think that'll hurt bowling. I think in the long run, it might actually help. It could. We don't really know. I don't think it's going to hurt bowling per se. I think that's just kind of a more extreme take on it. If you can't adjust, well, the thing is, like, I mean, you have pros coming out saying this is good. So those are the best in the world who can adjust better than every single one of us watching this right now. Like I will put money on Anthony Simonson, who says this is harming the game, or not harming the game, but this is harming the youth generation. I'll put money on him versus almost anybody in the world in an action match, especially when there's money on the line. That guy will show up. All right, let's see. Brandon Tipton. Let's make people mad and ban urethane. Okay, cool. I know they're laughing about it. Nah, USBC, I will. I as much flack as they get, I am still impressed that they don't just I don't know, they haven't sold out, which is good. That's good for them. They're trying to be very professional and honest about these things, which I do respect. What's next? Ban on IT grips. Dancing Beagles, is Jackal Onyx too much ball for a house shot? Yeah, I think it usually is. It's a very strong ball. Buff Wolf, what do you think would be more beneficial for house shot tournaments and sport shot? Origin or Gremlin? I think Origin, personally, especially if you're speed dominant, Buff. If you're not speed dominant, you might want to look at the Gremlin. Gandhi, I'm so happy to see 308 people live. I remember when it was just 50 to 60. Yeah, this is insane. This is the most people we've ever had on a live stream. So huge thank you to everybody out there who's jumping in potentially for the first time. Potentially for that first time. Let's see. Brandon, 6 new swag balls. Get one at your local pro shop. Brandon, do you mean... Do you mean like this swag ball? This one, by chance? Or do you mean... There's purple hammers in my way. How many purple hammers? Do you mean this swag ball, by chance? With grips in it already? Oh, that's crazy. We actually, fun little announcement. I haven't announced this on YouTube yet, but Bowlers Mart actually graciously gifted us a couple of swag bowling balls that we're going to be reviewing. So on Friday, I'm going to be getting clips of both of these swag balls, the Craze Hybrid and the Apex Pearl, against various lower end bowling balls, the Max Thrill Hybrid, the Dark Side, and a couple of others. So we do have a couple swag balls that are going to be showing up on the channel. We're going to try them out. We're going to give them a very unbiased review. We're going to be, as per usual, we're not signed by swag or anything. Don't worry about that. But we are going to be checking them out, see what they look like. Smitty, she's on the rage bait train with Lewis. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I did have to check at one point how many rage bait posts she made. I think it was like 10 of 20 at one point on Facebook. But in her defense, they get a lot of clicks. So that's what she was going for. I don't know if Lewis is going for that. Vatican, have you ever tried and considered bowling two-handed just for fun? I have. I actually had a ball drilled for me two-handed and tried it, and it felt good. It's something I'm not going to be committing to. I had a couple people tell me I should, but I won't be. But they are, yeah, I did try it. Amazing Robin, Tekken 8 going through it with balancing issues. Exactly. It's kind of, this feels like a video game where they're like, this is overpowered. This is OP. We got to nerf it a little bit. KNC Bowling, I'm curious to see how much this came from the amount of collegiate bowlers who soak their purples. In my opinion, that is probably the biggest thing. I think that is the biggest piece of this is that there were people caught soaking their purples and using them in competition. Now it was just a sweeper, but it was competition yet for money. And I think that was, I think the biggest issue with this is you can have a 55 hardness purple hammer and nobody knows it compared to a 70 hardness one. So if you're cheating, it's hard to tell. And I think that's one of the big reasons, is just the cheating side of it. Super Blitz, the Cove and Ember remind me of the Rotogrip Planet line. I do not know the Planet line. That's a cool idea for a line, though. I like that. Good fellow, you might just get that Cove for the colors. What does that ball do? Oh, yeah. Oh, we hit that one. Yep. Gandhi, does your pro shop have a website? We do not, but I would love to. I would love to. That'd be fan. We would love to work on that. Pete, I actually like urethane on Super Cliff house shots. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, the Cove is like a weaker phase 2. Weaker phase 2, basically. Sam Jones, why are there so many more overseas balls? Why does the US get special balls too? So more of the like idea for bowling and the culture of bowling overseas is that people have their own bowling ball that isn't like others on the lane. Like if somebody's throwing let's use phase 2. If one person's throwing a phase 2 overseas, like let's say South Korea, and they're throwing a phase 2 and it looks really good, everybody isn't going to go out and buy a phase 2. That isn't really the way there. In the States, it is. If you see somebody shred you with a phase 2, you might buy a phase 2. Where overseas, that's not the case. Everyone kind of has their own different ball. That's why they put so many different ones out. Hey, Maribeth, what's going on? It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dude. Yofo, if I ever get back into the bowling alley, my goal for my first practice is to not accidentally chuck the ball into the lane next to me. That is a good goal to have. That is a good goal to have. Grumpa, there's a no-thumb bowler in league who's bought so many balls that he can't throw any of them aside from his purple. He gets livid every time he shows up with a new ball in Brooklyn's. Oh, that's not good. That's not a good place to be. Maribeth, did you just call me 7'10"? Parker, you are really tall. Yeah, I'm 6'5". But when I stand next to Maribeth, I do look 7'10". You go check out our YouTube video together. You'll see me up here. And you'll see her like right there. Dennis, oh yeah, off subject, the limited Ion Pro Solid is sold out for $550. Yeesh. I mean, Maribeth, you're like 4'6". It's fine. Okay. Tokyo, I saw a post on Facebook from Walter Ray, and he's adamantly against banning urethane. Yeah, he is. He is very against banning urethane, which was surprising. I didn't really expect that. I didn't expect him to state his opinion very openly and like quickly like that too. All right, Food Central TV. I got 2 undrilled overseas urethane hammer bells. Guess I got to drill them soon. True, you do. I mean, it's rude not to now. Maribeth, 4'6". Yes. Brown, how does softer hardness help you? So, a softer bowling ball will actually both hook more and be more continuous through the lanes. Right now, there is a minimum hardness that all bowling balls need to be at. I believe it's like 73 on a durometer scale is the minimum hardness. The softer a bowling ball is, the more it's going to hook and the more continuous it's going to go through the pins. So that's why in the past, people actually soaked their bowling balls in acetone because it softened up the cover stock. When you softened up that cover stock, it made the ball hook more and it made it just overall better than the competition. So that was an easy way to get your ball to hook. Urethane balls, you don't have to manipulate them to make that happen. You can buy a urethane at 73 hardness. It'll get softer every single time you throw it up to a certain point. There are proven studies on that. Reactive balls start at 73. They get harder every single time you throw them as you absorb oil into that cover stock. So that overall causes a softer ball to be better. It's going to hook earlier, go through the pins a lot better is the main reason. Let's see. Dennis, you should see what Chris Barnes said USBC stood for. Oh, no. I didn't watch the... I know there was a beef in Barnesy today. I would be very curious to... Or yesterday, maybe? I'd be very curious to hear what they said. Very curious. Big B, don't joke about 117 degrees. I'm in Phoenix and it's a harsh reality. Ayo. Ayo. That's a bad asymmetrical solid ball. Right, Maribeth? Big Mike, pretty much anyone under the B7 sponsorships don't want urethane to go away. Really, the only storm bowler that uses it exclusively is Jesper. Jesper doesn't want it gone either. No, absolutely. It is. It has been a lot more Brunswick guys who've said, nah, we can't get rid of this. Jim, the only problem I have with urethane is the potential for the hardness to change, and my problem is the logistics of verifying. And Jim, that is probably the best point of that's the hardest thing with urethane, right? You can't tell how hard it is by looking at it. You need a durometer. Those things are expensive. So if somebody shows up with a purple hammer that they soaked in acetone, like you don't know it. You can't, even off the reaction, you have no idea. Because the goal right now is that if you have a softer urethane in college, you're going to do better. They want their urethanes to be softer. That is the goal. So without, of course, cheating. But that is the biggest issue. Sorry, Maribeth. I've taken too many shots at you. That's my bad. That's my bad. Hunter, what is the website to vote on the poll for the USBC ban? Yes, it is on their Facebook page, their Instagram page, and their website. USBC, they have bowl.com as their website. Any of those places are going to be the best ways to be able to see what the poll is and be able to make your voice heard. I highly recommend everybody here go vote in that poll. The more bowlers that vote in it, the better, and the better decisions are going to be made. Tokyo, I like your Shammies t-shirt idea. Bowling lane with just the 10-pin standing. Only it's not a pin, it's your face. Saying something funny or smart, Alec. Ooh, if I could talk some t-shirt guys to make that, I would be in. I don't know if anybody wants my face to on their t-shirt, but if you do, let me know. James, I saw someone in the league that had a chamois that had Aberlon logo 500 grit on it. Definitely raised a lot of eyebrows. That was Lewis. Lewis did that with DH Lab. Personally, I thought that was a terrible idea. He did it as trolling, but it is going to cause a lot of tournament directors to have to come over to lanes to make sure it's not actually a sanding pad, which sucks. Rick, you said the Equinox would be quicker than the Crux. Yes. Would the Attention Star be closer? Attention Star is going to be even quicker, in my opinion. That's why I think the Equinox is going to be the best play. It's one of the smoother pearl balls from Storm right now. Cody, I threw the IQ 78 at the ball demo. It was way too weak for me. I moved 2 boards, left 3 away from the middle dot. I'm left-handed. Will never get an IQ 78. Totally fair. I respect that decision. The Red Rock is not great. Maribeth, I'm making a new jersey in my line with Zach's face on it. Please don't. Please don't. Anything but that. Tarek, I want your opinion on a lot of tournaments having longer patterns and fewer shorter patterns seen, or at least in youth, this is the case. Yeah, that's to eliminate urethane. There's a lot of tournament directors who hate urethane. They hate two-handers throwing urethane, or high rev guys. Usually it's two-hander, but high rev guys. I know a few tournament directors who are like, I want to shut out urethane, so I'm putting out 46 feet. It doesn't get rid of urethane, unfortunately. You can throw it on everything. But that is more and more and more common, that they're like, we don't want this to be a urethane fest, so we're putting out a long pattern. Let's see, Tan Mega. So I think for league should not have urethane because it's just a house shot, but for tournament, I say keep just in case. Yeah, you don't need it for urethane or for a house shot for sure. Wayne, do you think if EJ was with B7 or SPI, he would throw urethane? 100% he would. Or do you think he adapted his game not really to need to rely on it? He adapted his game to what Motive's balls do. He has 100%. His ball roll fits Motive perfectly. I don't know how we do with Brunswick and Storm because a lot of the guys have changed, like their form kind of fits with the ball company and the balls they throw. So EJ is a perfect example of if 5 years ago Storm signed him, he'd throw it probably a little bit differently. So interesting thing to think about, but yes, he would crush it with a purple. Yeah, he would. His ball roll would be really good for urethane. PWY, are they banning urethane again? It is not for sure that urethane is being banned. However, there is discussions and investigations going on if urethane will be banned in the future. There is a poll open on USBC's website to help decide if urethane should be banned, if certain ones should be banned, or what level it should be banned at. So yes, there are discussions of it. Super Blitz Rattler NU is 109. I guarantee that sells out instantly. Jim, how much does a surface change a rating in the 6 categories? If I polish a Jackal Onyx, where does it put it? The hard thing is that Jackal Onyx is going to be a little different, but like if you like the Physics Blackout, I think is the perfect example. The Physics Blackout comes out of box at 2000 grit. It's a strong smooth ball. If you polish it, it moves over to strong and sharp. So it really depends on if you polish it or if you have surface on it for some of those in-between balls. But like the Onyx, in my opinion, it's still a strong, smooth ball if you put polish on it. Maribeth, we already got her first buyer. Chat, why does it beep out Zach when he says certain words? Is it actually? No. Did they actually put that into effect? I got a note from TikTok saying that they're gonna bleep out certain words for you as like you're welcome. Is it actually doing that, TikTok? Someone let me know. And what the words are too. Oh, I guess you wouldn't be able to tell. Yes, it just happened again. Whoa, that's not good. I haven't even swore. Oh, man. That's stupid. I'll have to look at that after this. Apologies, TikTok. Derek, I hear it sometimes with some very normal words. TikTok put out in an AI feature to block certain words so you don't get shadow banned, but it's probably not working very well, so I have to look into that a little bit. It went in like today or something. Let's see. Balrog, what's going on? What's the best weak ball for a speed dominant righty, and how much stronger is an R2X compared to R2S? Corey said the best weak ball. Corey, I have a speed dominant video coming out later this week, actually, to try to help out. And Balrog, how much stronger is R2X? Not much, but it is R2X. Onyx. There, I said Onyx. Why would Onyx get censored? Is it close? It's not even close to anything. It is not even close to anything. Super Blitz, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. It didn't do it that time. Huh. Weird. Grumpa, I'm a lefty who has never touched a urethane. Probably why I suck at bowling. Hey, that's a few and far between. Gandhi, do you have any plans to post polls? They'd make the stream more interactive. I need to find a way to have moderators. I need to look at moderators to see if I can make that happen. Billy Ball, I'm lefty too, and I don't really throw Thane either unless it's a short pattern, which is totally fair. Big Dragon, do you have a separate channel of you bowling? I've never seen you bowl. I have some shorts of me bowling, and then I have a couple ball reviews on the channel. But yeah, on the YouTube, I don't post myself actually bowling that often. I do in my true amateur tournament video as well. You can see me throw. But yeah, those are about the main places. Maribeth, I'm a moderator. No, sorry, on YouTube, Maribeth, on YouTube, not on TikTok. Yofo, you need to host the PBA. Hearing about the bowling balls is what interests me. They don't do hardly any of that. I am a firm believer that is true. I would love to. PBA, hit me up. If a reactive ball gets harder every time you throw it, does that mean new ball carry is just because of the softness? Part of it is. Part of it is the softness and the freshness of the cover actually helps with that. So new ball carry is not really like a complete myth. There is truth behind it. There is 100% truth behind it. Dennis, softer urethane is like dropping air pressure in your tires. Creates a bigger footprint, hence something on the alley for the urethane. Exactly. That is the perfect way to describe that one. 100% the perfect way. What do you mean? I don't hate you. What? I called you short, that's all. You said we hit that one. Dennis, they're going to have airport scanners in the bowling alley. It beeped me out again? Oh, man, why? I need to find that feature, TikTok. What is going on, man? I'll do that later. ZVL face shirt would be great with an expression. I do have a lot of pictures of myself with weird expressions for thumbnails. Blake Bowles, what's going on? Alex, looks like it's time for me to get the level. Absolutely. Billy Ball, Jesper makes it at IQ 78 look pretty good. Jesper can make a rock from the parking lot look good, though. He could 100% make a rock look good. It did it again. Weirdest thing, TikTok. Yeah, that beep was so long. Is it like loud? Hopefully it's not loud. Paul Kim, what is considered a GOAT medium sharp ball? The Zen. Zen 25 is probably the GOAT one right now. I think the Scorpion Strike is also a GOAT ball right now, so that could be another option. It's very loud. TikTok does not like urethane, apparently. Oh, I don't know how to change that either. Sound effects, maybe? No. Ugh, why did it do that? Why did you do that? I'm not finding a way to turn it off either. And why would you do that, buddy? TikTok, you suck. No, we're going to keep going, though. We have to. The settings button doesn't work. Oh, the settings button does work. Good. Doesn't give me anything. All right, let's keep going. Alex, I would love to see EJ throw a Black Widow. That'd be nuts. I don't think he'd. It would be like the Evoke. It would hook way too much for him. Paul, can you describe how each brand would change the way they would roll the ball if EJ was a Storm guy? Oh, if EJ was a Storm guy, he'd try to get it through the fronts a little softer. The thing with motive guys is you'll notice a lot of them. You have AJ Johnson, you have Michael Davidson, you have EJ, you have Santu. They hit the hell out of the ball. They put so many revs in the ball. So it is nuts how many revs they put on it, and they just like want to yam on it. Where if you're in Storm camp, you might have to not do that because you want the ball to float a little bit more, is what I see. But it all depends. It's always interesting, like what balls they like from different companies. It just beeped again. That's fun. Sorry, TikTok. I have to figure out what that problem is. Yofo, any tips on how to best store a ball when not playing with them for a while? Don't put them on carpet. Don't put them on wood. If you have the bag or the cardboard box that the ball came in, put it in that. That's usually best. Or your bowling bags. Bowling bag is good too. Can't lie, the beeps are a little funny. I gotta watch it after this to see what's going on. I gotta see that. Billy Ball, no doubt, but yeah. No doubt, but no other high revs who hated that ball. Said they had to play straight with it or they couldn't carry. If Tackett tossed a purple, it'd be like drilling a rubber ball. Hey, W. Hurd, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Gabriel, are you gaming this weekend? I don't know my weekend plans yet. It's Wednesday already, and I got to figure those out. I'm seeing Fantastic Four, I know, but that's about all I know. Vatican, when sliding down, you put most of your weight on your toe area. You do to start, and then it slowly transfers to the back, to your heel. Anytime I say storm, that'd be funny. Billy Ball, the censorship is so silly. Yofo, how does the softness of a urethane give an advantage? Yeah, I think we hit that pretty well. But TLDR, I'm such a nerd. TLDR of it is the softer a ball is, like Jim said, it's like if you deflate your tires where it wants to pick up the lane earlier, it wants to hook earlier, and then it wants to be more continuous. And the more continuous you can make a ball like that, the better it is. That's why those harder urethanes don't want to hook the entire lane. The softer ones do, though. Gandhi, initially I didn't like the hyperdrive, but it's a very good ball. It is a really good ball. Deaf Sound Guy, it's when I say urethane. Vanna, my pro shop suggested resurfacing my ball on oil extraction after 60 games. I would do closer to 100, personally. I think would be better. But 60 could work if it seems like it's really lost its reaction. Alex, TikTok ban might be shorter than the urethane ban. Grump, I drilled another Black Widow. Bowler's World Mystery Box ball. Hazmat Pearl. That ball was good. That ball is super good right now. Sam Cooley's another good example who just yams on the ball. Dennis, can't wait to see the review from High Rev Guy, Low Rev Guy. They're annoying like Lewis. Wayne, Sean Rash heard you defending urethane. He became a TikTok mod. That's gotta be it. That had to have been it. Oh, damn it, Sean. I knew he had it out for me. Brian, is the XL worth picking up before they're gone? It's good, but I think there's better ones. If you can find it for cheap, it's a good option. If you can find it for cheap, it's a good option. Tariq, with TikTok bleeping the word would be a good chance to promote the YouTube. It would. If you're on TikTok, you can come check out our YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook pages. We are live on all of those different platforms right now. We are live on everything. What material is your ball stand? It is wood, but I have little plastic things around the wood. So I have a little plastic, like, I don't know, like dots basically that the ball sits on so it doesn't touch the wood. Duncan, Storm bringing back the lock. That would be wild. USBC is banning WE bowling because you have a custom controller. Vatican, have you thrown a hammer effect? I have not thrown the effect, but it is it's a really good ASIM Pearl. Fantastic ASIM Pearl from Hammer. Super, super strong. It's been around for a while because people love it. It's fair. Any advice in bowling in college if your college doesn't have a team or club? Find a local bowling alley. It's going to be your best bet if you don't have a team there. And then just work on singles tournaments. Amateur tournaments is going to be your best play. Hey, Camtastic, thank you so much for the heart me. Welcome, welcome. I'm not getting any bleep outs. I don't know what they hear. I swear if they are If they are gaslighting me right now, I'm a flip. Let's see. Paul, if URETHANE gets banned, how do you anticipate people like Jesper, Butters, Packy to play? It's going to be a learning experience because when you when you have to throw URETHANE for so long and then you have to switch to reactive, it is a very different game. So it'll be interesting to see. It'd be very interesting to see. I think Packy is going to be the best with the switch. Jesper is going to be intriguing. Jesper is going to be really interesting. He might only throw the level for all we know. He might just grab a level and throw that the whole time. Maribeth, I would lie to you, but not 5 others. Thanks. Grump, I just went from suitcase to underhand and mostly getting great results. Hey, that's awesome. That is great to hear that it's working out so well. That is great to hear. Alex, Rashford's crowd never gets old. URETHANE. Dennis, Rattler NU is $100 on Bowling World. Ooh. Vanna, what balls are currently in my arsenal? Ooh, I have, what do I have right now? I have Jackal Onyx is still my GOAT super strong ball. Effect Tour is there. Phase 2. I just bought a new Phase 2 to replace my old one that's dying on me. I have an Origin. I have, which is the absolute GOAT ball. Beep, beep, beep. Oh my. That was a huge beep. For what? I'm naming bowling balls. Must not like the word Onyx, but I have, what is below that? Attention Star. I have Vaporize. Brunswick Vaporize is really good. I'm trying to find a ball below like the Zen. I have a Zen too. Oh no, it's loud too. And TikTok, why you do this? I gotta find that afterwards. I'm really sorry, TikTok. That's unfortunate. Come over to YouTube if you don't want to hear it. Apologies for that. It's super loud. Why would they add that feature anyways? Otherwise, I'm trying to find a ball below my Zen. I have a Dark Side, which is iffy. I'll have the new swag balls, which I'm curious about. I don't really have much else. Max Thrill Hybrid, I'm trying to fit there, but it isn't great. So still trying to find something for that. Vatican, thoughts on the yo-yo release? It is tough to master, but it's the way to get the most revs and the best ball roll. Buff Wolf, what's the shortest I should go for a sports shot pattern with a hyperdrive? You can go as low as like 36 feet. I mean, absolutely. You just have to have very forward roll. I'm going to college, sign with Motive. My arsenal is Optimum, Idol, Attention Star, Exponent, Sensor, Solid. What should I look to replace these or build a Motive arsenal? If you have to get Motive stuff, I do have a best Motive bowling balls right now. I'd recommend checking that vid out. Jason downloaded Lane Tracks after I saw his friend using it. Just have to get a tripod. I'm interested to know what my stats are. It is super helpful. There are reports that they're still working on that, but it's still, yeah, it's still something they're working on, but it is really nice to know. Vatican, how many games do balls usually last before needing replacement? Usually a couple hundred. Usually a couple hundred and you're good. Yofo, I'd buy a jersey if it had a picture of you and Maribeth with a yardstick for height. That's fantastic. I love it. I absolutely love that. Rick, you said the Equinox would be quicker than the Crux Pearl. Oh, yeah, we hit that one. Sorry. That's not funny. That was Yofo on YouTube, Maribeth. I think that's hilarious. Get a torpedo direct hit and hit it with 1,000. I tried Hotline. It still sucks for me. I got to try it a little more. Austin, maybe a Typhoon. Typhoon would fit like that weak sharp category, that for sure. I think it's a little too weak for me. I want something a little bit above it that'll flare a little more. Alex, Onyx is like saying clinker, I guess. Yeah, Onyx, stop cursing. I'm not cursing. I haven't swore this entire time. No. Oh, man. No, Onyx is goated. Absolutely goated. Let's see. Billy, what would be a good complement to the Axiom? Speed dominant one-hander? Zen is really good. I think the new Gremlin also is a really good one. Oh, the Gremlin also has a place in my arsenal, like below my Zen, is my opinion. Yeah, so I think that would be a really good option there. Let's see if Maribeth is in chat now. Billy, torpedo directed is a beast if you're bowling on 32 feet and 6 mils. That seems like the best time for it, honestly. It seems like the best time to throw a direct hit. That ball is just not good. It's so niche. Highly rev dominant, really good. Otherwise, little mediocre. Buff Wolf, I can't remember if I told you, but I did get my ice and hyperdrive drilled with a slug, and I love it. I barely have to squeeze. Hey, that is amazing to hear. That's really good to hear. Don, good 3-ball motive arsenal. Evoke Hysteria, Primal Shock, Lethal Venom. Perfect arsenal. That looks really good. Dennis, thoughts on tossing a Rubik's Cube? I can't solve a Rubik's Cube. I'm not good at it. Don, Zach is in Minnesota. Yes, I am a Minnesotan. Billy, I'm not a motive guy at all, but everyone I've seen throw the Hysteria. Yeah, I think they just came out with that the Hysteria was the most drilled motive ball on tour, which is crazy stat because that ball was only out for like 2 months of tour, not even. Vatican, hop step versus no hop step, two-handed. You get more speed if you hop step and you get your hips a lot more open. It's hard to open your hips if you don't hop step. That's the one issue. Deaf Sound Guy, if the Typhoon is a little weak, GB5 Pearl. I was looking at the GB5 Pearl because the main reason is it's on sale for like 120 bucks right now. I don't know why, but it's on sale for 120 bucks. So I'm tempted. Very tempted. All right, we are hitting about the 2-hour mark, so we're going to do last call for questions from everybody. If you have any final questions, either about the urethane ban potential, about any new bowling balls, or anything in between, please shoot them down below. I'll try to hit as many as I can. So, and then we'll be calling it a day. So, let's see. Where did we miss? What do you think of JR's new pinpoint accuracy tracker? I don't really know. I haven't really kept track of JR for the last couple of months. I know he just kind of went radio silent and then he came out with this 3D printed stuff that he's hand making. So it's cool. I like that there's going to be a cheaper option than Specto, which is good. But hopefully it does well for him. I really don't know enough about it though. Gandhi, how do you get images of bowling balls with transparent backgrounds? Gandhi, all the ball companies actually post transparent background photos of bowling balls online. And if not, I have Canva and there's a remove background feature. That helps a lot. That automatically does it for me. David, I use the Arctic Vibe as a weak ball that has some serious snap. What are your thoughts? I think that's the perfect spot for it. It is a very weak ball and it can be a little more kicky, like a little more angular down lane. Minnesota, what do you mean, Alex? Terrence, I was looking to get the Hammer Effect Tour here soon. Wanted to hear your thoughts. I love it. That's been one of my favorite balls for the last year or so. So I think it's a very good option. I think it's a very unique piece that fits kind of the medium smooth category that you can't find elsewhere. Oh, I also have an NV Tour I need to put holes in, by the way. It's going to be a fun one. He thought this was a family-friendly live. I was, I swear. Dennis, Maribeth related to Mark? Yes, she's, yeah, they are, yeah, that's her dad, is Mark Baker. No, it's not. Vanna looking to replace my Eternity Pie. Do you have any recommendations for anything similar? Origin EX is going to be about the closest you get right now. There isn't much closer to it. Dennis, last shot. The new motive clutch numbers are extremely close to Raptor Rush. The super clutch? The super clutch is a bit far away. The super clutch will be a lot weaker than it, both core and cover. Bruno, I figured a strat to deal with the urethane ban. What you got, Bruno? Christian, if you were to make a ball, what would you call it? What would the color be? See, people always ask me this, and I have no idea. I'm not creative enough. I think what I did was the Axiom core with the Phase 2 cover, I think was my play. And just make it the Axiom colors and make it blueberry. Just remake the Axiom is really what I'm going for. I love that ball, and it went way too soon. Buff Wolf, the Gremlin is medium and sharp. Absolutely. So we have a couple questions about, are you going to the sweeper at spare time tomorrow? RC, I will not be there, unfortunately. I will be recording a Coach the Coach video, actually. But if you are, good luck, man. Good luck. Camtastic, I hear it now. I think it's when they think you're going to curse, probably. Because it's supposed to catch it before you say it, which is weird because it was a little pop-up that showed up and then it vanished. 408, do you support the urethane ban? I am still undecided. I am very much with USBC and a lot of the reasons they say. They are making very good points for why they're looking into it. I think they're very factual in how they're looking into it and what they're doing. I understand why people don't want it banned. But I'm leaning more towards yes, especially for purple hammers, because they do get so soft and it is such a crutch in a lot of ways. I think that's the biggest issue with it, but they're still, I mean, it's still very up in the air. Still love to see a little more of the research behind it all. Freddie, should I buy a purple? Will they discontinue? It'll be at least a minimum of a year before it gets banned, if it gets banned. So you'll still have a year to throw it at a minimum. Snappy, it is not banned yet, but it could be. Jack, I'm betting you dollars for donuts right now that USBC already made the decision to ban it. The poll is designed to deflect any blowback. Honestly, I could see it. It has happened in the past from different companies. Would not be surprising. I have heard that they have already made some of a decision, and the poll is going to influence like how strict or how weak they go on the final decision. All right, let's hit a couple more, and then we're going to call it. TJ, I don't have a urethane. Is it worth looking into? It depends if you need it or not. If you don't bowl sport shots, you don't need it. Then you're fine. Connor, I'm against the urethane ban, but it's boring to watch the pros only throw it. Defeats the purpose. That is, I think, one of the issues of the PBA is like, it is just everybody playing up first to second arrow with urethane, and people, the casual viewer doesn't know what urethane is versus reactive. So they're like, these guys are just playing straight. Not a big deal. But I think being able to play different parts of the lane will make it look better too. I think there could be a lot of positives from it. Ban scented balls. No, I need my blueberry scented bowling balls. Home Depot's and Lowe's wondering why they're out of MEK. Max, how do you describe the motion you're looking for when figuring out a ball layout? Does it differ per ball, or do you just say what you want? Good back end and entry angle. So you can manipulate the numbers of drilling to try to add more back end, less back end, whatever you want from it. I'll have a video on a layout. It's coming out sooner rather than later. It's going to be a big video, so be ready for that. Rick, would the Zen 25 be close? Yeah, I think it could be fairly close. It'll be a little weaker, but not crazy weak. Billy, I bet they ban it for next year's Masters, Nationals, and Junior Gold. That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me at all that they do it for a couple events. Buff Wolf, I feel like the only urethane that should be banned is the purple. The pitch black is really, really good too, but yeah, the purple is better overall. Dennis, you mentioned the new Ascent are made in China, still legal, would be considered overseas. No, if a ball is poured overseas, it doesn't mean it's an overseas ball. Sorry. If it's, when we say overseas bowling ball, what we mean is a ball that's only sold overseas. It's not sold in the States. So that's where it's sold, not where it's poured, because the Ascent or the Ascend is poured in China. All swag bowling balls are poured in Korea. All Brunswick balls are poured in Mexico. All Storm balls are poured in Utah, except for the surges, the tropical surges, and the plastics. And all Motive stuff is poured in Michigan, except for the Ascends and their plastics. Deaf Sound Guy, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thanks, Zach. You are welcome. Really love seeing you at a lot of these, Deaf Sound Guy. Really appreciate you hopping in. Really appreciate you hopping in. Let's see. And Athlon, for 13 years, we had nothing but urethane. Everyone didn't have a problem. Resin comes out and there's a talk of banning resin. What happened then? Nothing. Urethane was gone for 20 years and now it's a problem. The urethane today is not the urethane that was then. They're two different kinds of urethane. Unfortunately, they are called the same thing, but if you grab an AMF angle and you compare it to a purple hammer, they are not the same bowling ball. So this is not the urethane of the 80s. This is urethane mixed with resin, which is what they are discussing. They don't care about the AMF angle. That ball really doesn't hook much anymore. That was hooking when there was 8 mils of oil on the lane, not when there's 32. So, two different things. Jim, I love layout videos. Yeah, I'm going to be covering dual angle, VLS, and 2LS. I'll be talking about all the numbers, what they all mean, examples of them all, and then how to actually drill them. So it should be fun. It's going to be a long video, though. Bruno, we need a power sander and 60 grit sandpaper. Oof, that's going to take some chunks out of the ball. Buff Wolf, I saw like 10 purple hammers on a rack at a house shot tournament. That's why I say that. No, why? Why would that happen? Frags, if I have the lethal venom, think the venom shock is worth getting? Yeah, they're very different. Yeah, Serenity says it perfectly. Get the venom shock. Mr. Lucky, let it go. Bring back the weight holes. No, that's hard for a pro shop. I never did weight holes. I never knew what they were. I got into bowling after weight holes were going away. Serenity, I have both. I start with the venom shock and then transition to the lethal. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Perfect. And then finally, Super Blitz. Urethane was not as prominent in the 90s and early 2000s. Now it's all over. Yeah, because it's a different kind of urethane. The urethane then was not good. Current urethane is very, very different creation entirely. Let's see. Wait, are you going to include finger? No, I'm not including like drilling, like how to fit a hand. What I'm doing is just layouts in specifically, Jim. I'll just be doing layouts. Heat, if I had a time machine, I'd go back to the 80s with a purple hammer. Oh, you would. Yeah, you would win every PBA title under the sun with a purple hammer in the 80s. You would be seen. That's like putting LeBron in the 80s, or like LeBron's thing of put Giannis in the 1980s for basketball. Like that's what it would turn into. Like if you grab, Kevin Williams, you give him a purple hammer, you transport him back to the 80s, he would win every single tournament. 100%. Speaking of overseas, has there been any talk of this overseas? I haven't heard any talk of a ban in the overseas market. Not that I've heard. This is all brand new as of today, as of yesterday. So maybe they'll follow suit. I don't know how big of a stretch or big of a reach the USBC has and how powerful their decisions are. I don't know. All right, but with that, we are going to call it a stream today. We've been live for about 2 hours. I want to thank each and every one of you who've hopped in today. We peaked at 300 viewers on YouTube. We had a ton over on TikTok and on Twitch and a couple on Facebook. Thank you, everybody who hopped in today. TikTok, we're going to say goodbye to you first. Quick reminder that we are live every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. So make sure to come join us on whatever Wednesdays you are bored and want to talk about some bowling. If you guys want to buy some ZVL Bowling merch, we do have that out on TikTok Shop. If you just look up ZVL Bowling, it's on Bowler Store, or it's on the Bowler Store main page. We also have Shammies. If you guys want a ZVL Bowling chamois, they are $24 after shipping. DH Lab is the one who sells them. It's a good way to support the channel if you want to help support the ZVL streams. Otherwise, we have a lot of videos coming out in the next couple of weeks. We have a speed dominant video arsenal guide, and we have a rev dominant arsenal guide coming very, very soon. But otherwise, that is going to be it. TikTok, I'm going to say goodbye to you first. TikTok, thank you so much for hopping in. I'm going to fix the beeping problem in between streams. I will see you on the next one, though. See ya. Ooh, I can hear that it just started raining. All right, then we just have YouTube and 29 flagged words detected. Wow, it actually did catch me. 29 flagged words. Auto bleep will be suspended if over 30 flagged word uses are detected in a live. That auto beep will be suspended. Can you suspend it anyway? Whatever. All right. YouTube, thank you guys so much for all of the support on the stream today. YouTube, TikTok, or YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Thank you all. I will see you guys hopefully next week. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Best way to support the channel. And then also you get notified whenever we go live. Otherwise, I will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.